I think.
Okay, we are live, guys. So at this point of time, I would really like to welcome all of you, all the amazing, passionate young entrepreneurs, and everyone who is, watching us right now. We're so excited to welcome you all to day 7 of the Ivy Early Entrepreneurship Program, Summer 2021. We would also really like to extend our gratitude and thank our 2 amazing mentors here. I'm sorry if so at this point of anyone's. I would really like to. Okay, I'm sorry. That was me with my YouTube open at the background. But I would just like to tell all of you to please make sure that you have your YouTube channel. If you have it on, just keep it on mute. But at this point of time, of course, broke my chain of thought. But really, gratitude and welcoming our 2 mentors, Kriti and Rashid, who are here with us today. Thank you so much once again for joining us, inspiring these kids, and hopefully you did see them on day 1 and day 2. So hopefully you'll see the progress that these students have made over the week, and hopefully give them, your 2 cents on what you think, how far they've come. At this point of time, I would give the floor first, before we begin, to Kriti to talk about our Young Business Academy for a quick couple of minutes, what it entails, what we are planning to do, and we'll have one special student with us as well who is going to share his very short presentation, and then we'll move on to all the amazing presentations that are lined up with you guys. So over to Kriti.
All right, hello superstars. We are thrilled. Raj and I actually saw you right at the start, and now we're seeing you right at the end. And I know that you guys have soaked everything that this program has to entail, and we're really excited to see you guys. And all of you look so smart. Like, I see blazers and shirts. Oh my God, it's just, well, Raj and I kind of underdressed for panelists. But thank you for treating this with so much commitment. Before I jump in and talk about what we have, what we wanted to talk about, I just wanted to hear from you guys. If you remember our rapid fires, and I know you've had your share of rapid fires, okay? What was the one thing Rashid and I told all of you on day 1 and day 2? Does anybody remember what was like a top, the one thing all entrepreneurs should do? There's one thing we shared that we both had in common. Does anybody remember? To solve problems, yes, Divyansh, and take risks. Okay, anything else? There's something else. There was something in the last, Rishi, the last question that we asked.
Yeah, I think I remember. It was start now and then figure it out like through the way.
You've got it, yes. So while obviously all of you have the correct answers as well, but Yashasvi's got bullseye, it was about getting started. And so over the last many, many months, this program that you guys have been a part of has taken a lot of hard work from the organizers and on the back end to make sure we do justice to all of your goals and your dreams. And what I'm going to talk to you about is essentially an extension of that. I know it's really exciting to commit to a week, and there's so much you have learned. But in our experience over the last 4 to 5 years, we've also seen so much value in continuing your commitment to your entrepreneurial journey. Because the fact is, as you've heard from all of your mentors, entrepreneurship is a lot about ideation and solving problems, but it's also a lot about execution and staying the course. So this week has been awesome, and we want you to continue this over the course of the next 6 to 12 months. And therefore we have, and we'll share more details with you around the Young Business Academy, which essentially is us coaching you one-on-one and with a community of young creative entrepreneurs and giving you the roadmap to come up with your own business idea and see it through, to go from start to your first set of paying clients or your first set of projects, whatever it might be, but go from 0 to 1 really, really fast, because that's where the magic happens. Okay, think about it like a snowball. When you let a snowball down a mountain, it sort of gets bigger as it goes, right? The first step is to let the snowball down the mountain. And so what we want you to do is think about how can you go from, conceptualizing your very own business idea and getting your first set of paying clients or first set of projects through that, right? And so this academy sort of does that for you, right? They're going to give you roadmap, toolkits, all of the mentor support you need week on week, so that you can go from 0 to 1 really quickly. And it's just telling you all about this program. I actually wanted you to hear from a young, exceptionally talented youngster like yourself who's actually gone through this journey, right? So to understand what happens after this week, because I know the Big Red group, they said one thing to me, they're like, we want these kids to take this forward, right? So to just show that commitment to you, I want you to hear from Shreyas today. Shreyas has gone through this journey with us. Shreyas is Shreyas on the call, Rishi? Have you admitted him in? Shreyas, you're here, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, okay, so Shreyas and I met in 2019. I want to say, as this pandemic has made all years very blurry. Shreyas is based out of Bangalore. He goes to Stoner International. And when I met Shreyas, he was passionate about many things, but particularly, and he'll talk to you some more about his passions and how he sort of took that forward. But the one thing that really stands out to me in Shreyas' story is his commitment to his passion, continuous commitment to see it to action. And so I want you to hear from Shreyas on how he sort of took this passion and also this keenness of business and brought it together through his own very unique journey. So Shreyas, over to you. We'd love to hear from you and how your journey was, so everyone can get insights as well. And if you have any questions, Shreyas is here. We'll do a quick Q&A in the end as well. Yeah, Shreyas, over to you.
All right, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Like Kriti said, I'm about 17 years old. I'm a rising senior at the Stoner International. And I was part of the Young Business Academy about 2 years ago in 2019. Okay, so before I start, I just want to ask a quick question. And just a show of hands, please. How many of you guys are like passionate about something? Whether it's like, maybe it's a debate topic, maybe it's a sport, maybe it's a subject in school. Right, I see a lot of hands. Okay, so for me, that was tennis. So I've always been an avid tennis fan. I've watched a lot of tennis. I played a lot of tennis growing up. And when I first came to the Business Academy in 2019, I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I really wanted to start something. And I felt like I just had so many ideas and I wanted to just get started with it. And for me, I think the first thing that really I saw that was different with the Business Academy is that we started with something called the Ikigai, where we looked at our passion, mission, profession, vocation, and try to connect it all together to try to see what my purpose was and what I could be doing at this particular instant. And once I figured that out, I realized that in the highest level of tennis, there isn't really an equal platform for everyone. So for example, one of my inspirations, Ducky Lee, is a deaf tennis player who plays on the highest league of tennis, the ATP Tour. And for him, when he's competing at such a high platform and he's deaf, and the fact that tennis depends on umpires screaming out or in all the time, it puts him at such a disadvantage. And I noticed that he wasn't the only person who was suffering through this. And out of the Ikigai, this is one of the ideas that came out, and I really decided to stick with this. And something that really was special about the Young Business Academy was, for me, it was about 4 weeks long. And every week at the end, we would look at what was working and what wasn't working. And for me, that was super, super important, really put things into perspective, because I really realized what was just extraneous fluff and what was actually going to help me further my idea and further my project towards my goal. And so I started off with trying to find a machine learning solution to tennis. So I've always been a technology guy. I've always been fascinated with technology and using artificial intelligence to try and provide a better, standard of living, because I've always been interested with the applications of AI in particular, and not really just AI. So I really wanted to see if I could use my machine learning skills in a completely different field like tennis. And so over the weeks in the program, what I realized was it wasn't just about me. It was not my idea. It was actually our movement. And what I mean by that was, at the start, I was just like, okay, this is my idea. I got to find a solution. I got to make sure that I try to create a better platform. But at the end, I think something I realized was, I can't just do this alone. I got to listen to other people. I got to get ideas from different people who are better than me, who know more about the subject, who know more about the sport, whether it comes to different ideas to take this platform to the next level. And apart from that, at the end of the program, at the end of Young Business Academy, we had something called a Shark Tank, where I got to present my idea to a panelist of entrepreneurs. And that was really, really insightful for me, because I got to hear a lot of critical feedback from them about what was good, what could go in the right direction, what I needed to do from there, and so on. And for me, that was such an eye-opening process. And I think something that I found really interesting, like an interesting process that happened, was something actually that happened after the program. So I do the IB, and in the IB in your sophomore year, you have something called a personal project. And I realized that the project I was undertaking was perfect for this. And so what I did was I was constantly keeping in touch with my progress, making advancements, whether it was maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. But the thing was I was constantly keeping in touch with the problem, with the idea, and with the solution I wanted to create for this. And so that allowed me to constantly make changes that were helping me get my project to the next level, or it also helped me reach out to different people who I knew would help me with my project and help me with my solution. And at the end of the personal project, I realized that when this was about, I think, March or April of 2020, I realized that I really had some project going and I really understood the what, why, how, and where of my project, which is something that the Young Business Academy really helped ingrain in my head. And from there, I decided to actually patent the idea. So I got in touch with a patent company and I just filed a provisional patent for this idea and for my solution. But something I want to reiterate is that it all had to start from somewhere. And for me, that was the Young Business Academy. I know that for a lot of people here who don't do the IB, the personal project might not be super helpful and it might not seem like something you would like doing. But the thing was, when I was doing the program, it was about 3 to 4 weeks long. But now it's about 6 months long, which means that you're always making progress with your idea, with your problem, with your journey. And since you're always making some sort of tweak here and there, always looking introspectively at what's working, what's not working every single day, I think that's really going to help you understand the what, why, how of your project, and really understand that this is not just about you. And it's really going to help you take your project from its very basic foundation to something that you're going to be super proud of at the end. So for me, like, I would really recommend the Young Business Academy program because it really helped me not only take my idea from a basic level to something I'm really proud of, but also it exposed me to how to be a better communicator, because throughout the program, I was learning how to send emails to people who might be helpful to me. And often you're going to send a lot of cold emails. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not going to work. But for me, that was such an experience that I'll never forget. And I feel like it's sometimes not about the idea, but also about like their experience as well. So to conclude, I feel like the Young Business Academy was something really super special to me, and it's something I would really recommend for all of you right here. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreyas. Thank you very much. I want to be mindful of time as well. So everybody, I hope this was inspiration. I know you're pitching your group projects today, so I'm hoping Shreyas' pitch, and he actually went on to win Shark Tank that we organized. And his story is inspiring for you guys, and it's a great start for this Sunday. And you have the link, and just remember, it's important to execute your ideas. Take that away from Shreyas. If you're passionate about something, see it through. Age is only a number. You don't have to wait. And I'm hoping to see more of you take forward your ideas and passions that we've discussed over the course of the week. And I'm really excited to hear from you today on all of the awesome stuff you've done. Shreyas, thank you very much for being here. I'd love for you to hang back and see some of the pictures if you'd like. But Rishi, over to you.
Thank you again. Once again, thank you, Shreyas. Really inspiring. I'm a squash player myself, and love the idea of using AI to teach sports, to become better at it yourself. So kudos to you. And just to reiterate what Kriti has just talked about, of course, there's only so much that we are able to do right now with all of you within a week-long framework, right? But we would really be excited to work with you long-term, work for 6 months, one-on-one, get you that mentoring required, and see your startup from, as Kriti said, I love that framework, which is 0 to 1, right? Really get you your first paying clients and see your startup in existence. So moving on now, thank you, Shreyas, thank you, Kriti and Rashid once again. Over to our pitches now. So all the parents who are joining us, everyone else, welcome once again to the pitch day. Sorry, we're sort of delayed the pitch for 15 minutes, but I thought it was really important for us to tell you, what we do have in store for them moving forward as well. To give you a quick background, about the Big Red Group, we do organize programs on leadership, entrepreneurship, robotics, and a host of other topics. We'd love for you to go on our website and see what we do. Now moving on from selling now to these young, passionate students. Just to give you a very quick overview We had 90 passionate students from more than 75 schools, more than 65 cities and 4 countries around the world. A group of students that really motivated me, and they were mentored by 12 different mentors on each day. We started day 1 with ideation, market research on day 2, then marketing. We had a day on design thinking. We had a day on social entrepreneurship. And yesterday was our last day on business modeling and finance or pitches. So that's how all the 6 days went in. These kids have worked extremely hard. I do want to tell all the parents and everyone who's watching in that we do try to tell these students and do say that, yes, these pitches or these projects that they've made for you, it is really important, but it doesn't even come close to what they have done throughout these 7 days, right? Which is beyond these pitches, beyond these projects. It is really hard to collaborate with 10 different people who maybe have 10 different passions, come from different ideologies, different cities, and to hand back beyond the 4 hours or 3.5 hours we spent together to do these meetings, at 12 a.m., at 2 a.m. In the morning is really something. So on that note, I would just tell you all to be mindful and be respectful, and hopefully just cheer these kids on. We'll make sure that it's really interesting, and I hope all the groups are ready. We are now going to begin our first pitch, and that first group is group number 4. So anyone from group number 4, please be ready. Feel free to share your screen, and the stage is yours. Good luck.
Thank you. I'll just be presenting now. Hi, everybody. We are Ivan by Zephyr. We are basically providing indiscriminate fashion for an open-minded world.
Okay, so before we start with that actual presentation, I would like to tell you some figures that I want you guys to keep in mind while we're presenting. So the first figure is 65 million, which is the number of morbidly obese people in India. And this is actually the 5% of the entire population of India. Next, we have 21.9 million, which is the number of disabled people in India. And remember, guys, keep this in mind while we're presenting. And next, again, 65 million people, which is the number of non-binary people in India. Thank you. Over to Divyansh.
Exactly. So when we heard of these figures, we thought to ourselves, what problems do these guys actually face? So this is what we'll be covering in the problem and the solution that we have provided to solve for these figures. The burning problem is how might we make fashion more sustainable and inclusive? Now, first, we need to break this down into sustainability and inclusivity. So to tackle inclusivity, we identified pain points. So before you can actually solve the problem, you need to identify the exact problems, right? So we pinpointed 8 pain points where we can actually help these people. So the first is lack of availability. So there are no intermediate sizes per se between medium and large. There are alteration problems. There's judgment and stigma in the retail experience. There's lack of transparency about cloth details on the shopkeeper's end. There's unfair pricing. Some are priced too low, some are priced too high. It can also have compromised quality. The shopping experience is uneasy. The online shopping experience is limited and it's hard to navigate. The offline shopping experience contains judgmental people. And there can always be comfort issues and getting the measurements all wrong while ordering online. So here is our solution to it.
So we here at Ivan are going to take these pain points ahead and solve them once and for all, and here's how. So we're going to create a web app to connect inclusive brands to customers of special needs. So it's going to be an intermediary platform between customers and clothing brands. So for the dashboard, like Swiggy displays restaurants, ours will display clothing brands ready to service the customers. Consumers can select a brand, browse their catalog, select designs, add to cart, and check out. Measurements will be taken accurately by an AI camera bot at checkout. Customer can manually correct if something is wrong. Now for the revenue model, we're going to be taking 10% commission of brands earning per product sold on our platform. Over to Karan.
Okay, so the features of the product. So we have a responsive web app. This web app works on all devices, and there will be a launch on iOS and Android soon. Okay, so competitor analysis. So some of the strengths of the competitors are that they have a pre-existing consumer base. They have a brand image, loyalty, and name because of the experience in the market right now. Economies of scale. So basically, this is when production increases, long run average costs decrease, and some of our competitors are H&M, Zara, and Levi's. Weaknesses. So some of the weaknesses are that it's not inclusive enough. There's a limited product range, lack of personalized experience because there are many customers that large businesses have to attend to, and they can't deliver remotely.
Our target audience are people who are too short and too long, people who are plus sized or skinny, physically disabled people who need special customized clothes, and also non-binary people. So let's talk about the market analysis. There are 65 million people who are morbidly obese people, 39 people who are non-binary people, and 22 million are physically disabled people. And total available markets are 126 million people.
Now, for the promotion and the marketing side, we will be focusing on three tenets: the multimedia, the advertising, and the partners. For the multimedia, we'll be using Reddit, Quora, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and word of mouth. The advertising will be done on television, newspapers, email newsletters, magazines, and Google Ads, out of which email newsletters will be more personalized. The partners that we partner with, the partner brands that we're talking about, will advertise will advertise us on their websites and advertise their collaboration with us. Now, for the strategy timeline, I hand it over to Sangamitra.
Here is how we plan to strategize with time. The first step is to do our market research, which will be a constant process. The second step is to analyze the data that we collected. The third step is to scout out for brands and select the brands that are in line with our goal. The fourth step is developing the website. And the last step is to hire a team of logistics and supply chain maintenance. Here are the milestones that we hope to achieve with time. Phase 1 would be to get brands on board with our idea. Phase 2 would be launching the website. Phase 3 would be launching the Android and iOS apps for easy accessibility of our users. And phase 4 would be opening retail mega stores to gather a bigger consumer base.
Okay. The next thing we talk about is our USP, which is the unique selling proposition. Now, unique selling proposition is basically the factor that differentiates us from other clothing brands. The first thing is our AI measure bot. So the AI measure bot, it will solve the problem of a wrong fit by accurately measuring the person's dimensions. And the next thing is our all-in-one marketplace. So our website is basically a unique collection of brands that is yet to be found anywhere else. Most inclusive brands, they sell their own clothes, and we will basically act as a mediator between the clothing brands and the consumers. We get those brands to sell through us. So the next slide, this is how the AI measure bot is going to work. It's basically going to scan your body and obtain your sizes. Now, the next thing we talk about is the funding. Now, our company, we believe that we don't need to crowdfund or approach any venture capitalists as we are bootstrapping. So bootstrapping basically means we will be using the existing resources. This will basically reduce the dilution of our valuation, and it will make us profitable in a less amount of time.
Definitely. And now to introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Divyansh Lalwani. I'm head of technology. This is Yug. He's the head of user experience and design. Yug, say hi. Next, we have Karan Jain. He's the head of logistics. We have Siddharth, who is head of market research. We have Sanjukta, who is head of sales. We have Sangamitra, who is head of human resources. And we have Yashasvi, who is the creative director of ourselves. And we have Sanvi, who is the head of customer relations. And we have Abhiram, who is the head of supply chain. Thank you for listening to our presentation. And now I pass the presentation on to Yug, who will present the prototype of our product.
Right. Divyansh, could you stop presenting? Yeah. Yes, I hope you can see my screen.
We can.
Okay. So this is basically our website prototype that we plan to publish in the near future. Yeah. So this is basically this is just the prototype. So it's not exactly what a website is going to look like. So here we just talk about why customers should choose our company and why the shopping experience is really actually extremely good. Okay, so these are some of the brands that we plan to partner with in the future, which is Mustard, All, Movability, and Movability. Yeah, so this is really an important point for a company because this actually talks about the sustainability initiatives that we actually take. So I'd like Siddharth to read out the first initiative.
So what we're going to do is we are going to gather waste clothing from our partner warehouses, and we're going to basically donate it to firms that are going to form organic compost out of those materials which we have collected.
Right. And also we only select brands in our company that only follow sustainable manufacturing methods. And also we crowdfund for buying old clothes from people to donate it to poor children who actually don't have proper clothing to wear. So by this, you can actually, this is a sustainable way because instead of the clothes that were getting thrown can actually be reused for poor children. Yeah, and of course, very good company. So of course, you can anytime contact us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Team 4. That was amazing. Of course, everyone's interested in fashion. Now over to Kriti and Rashid for comments from your side on this presentation.
Kriti, you want to go first?
Go for it, Josh. I'll go after you.
Okay. So I will keep it as quick and snappy as possible. So there were 3 things about this I really liked. Your one-liner at the start was awesome because it's very, very clear right off the bat what you are, what you do, what you're standing for. And to get that within 7 to 10 words is always a task for any company. We keep struggling with it still. So you guys have cracked that already, which is fantastic. So that's number 1. The second thing that was great is very well structured. Not really got like 50 million questions because you sort of hit every point. And so that was really well structured. And third is I had written this down as a bit of feedback as what you could do better next time. And then you pulled out the prototype because I had written down, I would have loved to see a prototype of it. So it was fantastic that you did that as well. So those 3 things were awesome. I would have, I guess, one bit of feedback in terms of what could perhaps take the presentation to the next level, which is that oftentimes when you throw a lot of numbers at people or a lot of points at people, it's very tough for us to keep all of that in our head because we're not as smart as you are and we don't know the subject area as well as you do. So if you sort of think about it from our perspective, it's tough to keep all of those things in our mind at the same time. So sometimes you've just got to take a hard call to say, this is the one number I'm going to focus on. This is the one point I'm really going to drive home, because sometimes that's a bit more effective. But overall, fantastic. Really enjoyed the presentation as well. I was smiling all the way through it. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I think I totally echo everything Rashid said, especially the one I wrote down, prototype, as one of the feedback points, and then you guys had it in the end anyway. I think the one, and I also really think that the presentation was very, very holistic. However, I do feel like I come from a market research point of view as well. I know that you guys gave us a lot of holistic numbers, which was really exciting. The one part I feel was missing was, even though there are 100 million people that are potentially your demographic, I would add a layer of how many of them, especially in a country like India, have the ability to pay and use your services. I would like to see that. And in the roadmap that you guys showed us, I would also like to see a little bit more detail on the development of the app or website. I think a little bit more nuance on, here is the wireframe, here are the things we have to that have to get developed for the wireframe, just as a little bit of nuance for the next level. But overall, extremely holistic. I loved the flow. I loved the social impact angle you guys put in the end. So great job.
Thank you, Kriti and Rashid, as always. Can't wait for all the other comments coming up for all the other groups. So now over to group 2.
Yeah, hello everyone. I hope that all of you are doing well. So just do me a favor now. Just imagine yourself to be a 14-year-old teenager who is passionate about writing. You post your work occasionally on social media, but how much does that help you grow? Probably not much. Through our research, we have found that chances are that teenage writers do not have a community which allows them to freely express themselves and connect with more like-minded people who can give them feedback to improve and enhance their skills. Now, how might we solve this problem? As an answer to this, our group brings to you the Lit Grove.
LitGrove is a platform which allows young writers to be a part of a community in which they gain the missing inspiration, validation, and awareness in their journey of pursuing their passion. The LitGrove focuses on young writers and empowers their voice through an active community made up of like-minded people, which provide the writers with the feedback they need to boost their confidence and enhance their skills. With appreciation and constructive criticism from other people who relate to one's work, the writer would gain the understanding they need to move forward and improve. Ashika will now be talking about our target market.
We start with launching our app nationally, and our target audience would be teenage writers aged from 10 to 19. This age group constitutes about 21.7% of our population, out of which 44.8% enjoy writing. This 44.8% would be our target audience. According to the results of various surveys we conducted, 47% of teenagers say that they are influenced by the advertisements on social media. Now, Sharanya is going to give you a quick run through of our prototype.
The Lit Grove is an intuitive, collaborative, teen-friendly app. The opening page is an invitation to our Gen Z community. Presenting to you a video we prepared. The opening page is a registration form. It asks some personal details and the user's interests, which help us know what they would appreciate from an app. The young writers get an exclusive aspirational feed page. Introducing Feed Forward. Constructing and giving advice is a feature we added, knowing that our teens love expressing their views on topics. We will provide advice templates and prompts to word their feed forward better. The inspiration box will save posts for our viewers. Our poll helps in improving the writer's weak areas. The downvote is our safety feature for shutting down inappropriate content. The more the upvotes, the more accounts will see the post. Now, Krisha will tell us what makes us unique.
A unique selling proposition is getting a familiar thread of people together and helping writers grow through participative development. Through our various features like polls, feed forwards, and the inspiration box, as well as allowing writers to look at other people's work, they develop skills through a community and through their active participation. Chav will now tell us about our competition.
Our main competition is Wattpad. It is a community where users can connect with their favorite writers, read and write original stories. Both Wattpad and the Lit Grove have the same target market. Wattpad allows users to comment on other stories and add works to the library section, whereas our platform allows users to critique others' works to help them improve. One of the ways we do that is through polls, which tells the writer the area they need to concentrate on to improve. Our other close competitor would be Camp NaNoWriMo. This, on the other hand, has writing challenges to help writers reach the word goal to complete their novels. The Lit Grove focuses on helping writers to improve the quality of writing and not the quantity like NaNoWriMo does. And the Lit Grove also includes different genres and not only novel writing. Now, Aditya will talk to you about the marketing channels.
68% of brands consider Instagram the most important platform for their product marketing. In recent times, with influencers and reels and a large young audience, Instagram is a very effective outlet for marketing of our service. With the special engagement of youth in it, Instagram marketing can be a boon for us by making young writers aware of our presence. Sending out regular automated emails to our target audience can also go a long way in familiarizing the consumers about a company and giving them an initial push. Word of mouth is also a crucial marketing strategy for us. Once the audience familiarizes with the platform, it will naturally generate a stream of suggestions among youth. Video marketing. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, imagine how valuable a short video is. People are much more likely to watch a 2 or 3 minute video. Now, for our milestones, over to you, Radha.
Yes. Now, what do we have right now? We have a clear idea of what our user's problem is. We also have a clear idea of how our solution might work. We also have a working layout of our app and website, which contains all the basic framework and the necessary features. And all of this, we can start with minimum funding. Just imagine what we can do with proper funding. With the proper funding, in 1 year, we might have experts coming onto our platform and actively helping these young writers improve their skills. With proper funding, in perhaps 1.5 years, we might be able to hold worldwide competitions and encourage these young writers to express themselves. With proper funding, in 2.5 years, we might be able to connect these amazing young minds to amazing companies who need their expertise. According to us, this has the potential to be really, really big. And to make it big, we need revenue. Over to you, Pratham.
Initially, we won't be generating any revenue, but gradually we will. Our marketing team will help us grow on social media platforms so we can get monetized. After that, we'll pursue companies and corporates to advertise their products or services on our platform. We're also planning to introduce premium services for a small fee, giving users access to talks with professional authors, exclusive webinars, etc. Now to funding. As we all know, funding plays a vital role in the journey of a startup. To fund our business, initially we will have to seek help from our friends and family. Secondly, after reaching a certain stage, we would like to take help from an angel investor. After that, we could use crowdfunding to raise capital. Once we decide to launch our application on a large scale, we would like to seek help from long-term financiers. We would go for equity dilution by keeping majority voting rights and holdings. We're potentially planning to take a bank loan as interest rates are at an all-time low. Amrita will now explain our cost structure.
Funding is essential to launch a business. We have cut down our cost to make it extremely practical and affordable. Now we are looking to expand in future, but right now we need seed money. This seed money consists of app building. From our research, we approximately require 80,000 for this. Then marketing cost will be 15,000 rupees. And finally, we consider 10,000 for the miscellaneous expenses like registration and other legal affairs. The total financial requirement for a business will be 1,05,000 rupees.
This is our team. Our team consists of 10 people. You can see their names on the slide right now. Thank you.
Thank you, the Lit Crew. Thank you so much. That was amazing. As always, again, back to Kriti and Rashid.
I'll go first this time. Okay, Lit Grove, I loved the presentation. The video and prototype. As a design thinker, you have nailed prototyping. I loved that you had a video showing us the features of the prototype. That really stood out to me. I think as a business model, think that your targeting is very, very niche. And because it's so focused, it ought to be something that really speaks to that demographic and to that target. So I love that you all didn't get distracted and you're stuck with this is the demographic that we want to go with. I particularly loved how you anchored us against the competition. So you said, okay, here are our two competitors and here's how we're doing things differently. So it helped me understand what you're sort of thinking about. And I went to the competitor's website to see what it would look like for y'all. So the competitor, the way y'all presented that was a fantastic anchor. I really liked also finally that you all did your groundwork on the costs and the funding routes, because I wrote down as a feedback on what's the one thing that could be better. I would have liked to, I know you were talking about funding, I would have liked to see that, but you brought it back in the end. So that was awesome. The one feedback point that I have that could be better could be, I would sort of take one thing, like I love the idea of competitions on this app and sort of think through, potential like visual routes of, okay, if we start competitions, here's how it would go into the cost structure, here's how we could bootstrap it. I would like to visually have seen what those routes could be as opposed to hear it in theory. That would make your business case very, very compelling if you could show us different routes of revenue generation, like ads, competitions, experts and stuff, and how that would loop into the business model. So instead, one level up would just be from theory to actual showing that model. But other than that, fantastic. Loved it. You guys covered ground. Rashid, over to you.
Yeah, I think for me, the highlight, all of the points I've written down about what was positive, I think are all linked to branding, marketing, storytelling. I think you guys did really well. You brought us into the presentation from the first second. So from the first second, we felt like we were a part of it because you said, imagine doing this, etc. Right? So you got us in the space we needed to be. I love the idea of what you called it. I think the Lit Grove name was great. Feed Forward was a fantastic name as well. So for me, all of the highlights of the presentation were all linked to the branding, marketing side of things, which I think were extremely powerful. I think a couple of things y'all might want to consider in order to actually turn this into reality. I felt it feels a little bit like, you know, if they gave you this as a business case at an MBA at Harvard, you guys have killed it. Okay, you guys have broken everything down, thought everything through, which is fantastic. But Mike Tyson has a great saying. He says, all the best laid plans in the world go away when you get punched in the face. Okay, and what he's trying to say by that is that when you start doing some of this stuff, your plans, those costs that you have might become 10 times what you think it was. It might be harder to get people as well. So the one thing I would keep in mind is that there is a possibility and a potential for you to build out this idea and test this idea without any funding at all. A company like Dunzo started their testing on WhatsApp and things like that without any costs incurred at all, and then invested once they knew the idea works. So one thing to sort of think about is how would you turn this idea into action without investing money so that you can go to an investor and say, see, look at it. I tested it out in my school at WhatsApp. I've got numbers. Now you can trust me and give me money, right? And then I can fund it properly. So that would be the one sort of tweak I make in terms of your next steps, but a really great, compelling idea and well presented as well.
Thank you, Kriti and Rashid, for your comments. I'm glad you brought the Dunzo point because we had an investor from Bloom Ventures yesterday who did talk about that, how Kabir, who were one of the co-founders of Dunzo, literally used to go on scooters and bikes himself, and out there to deliver, right? So that's the road to entrepreneurship, and hopefully, you guys will take care of that aspect as well and learn from it. Thank you again, Group 2. I as a passionate writer, I love your idea, and I hope you can inspire so many more young teenagers. Now, over to Group 3.
Good evening, everyone. This is Group 3's presentation. Thrifting, old to sold. So these are the topics that we'll be covering in our presentation. And to begin with, the problem statement that we chose was how might we live more sustainably? And within that problem, Thrifting aims to solve the great wastage of clothes due to teenagers continuously growing out of them, which thereby creates a lot of clothing wastage, which has further environmental impacts. This also causes an excess expenditure on clothes at a regular basis. Hence, there is a rise in the requirement of cost-effective and sustainable clothing alternatives by our target audience, which is 12 to 18-year-olds, at least in the beginning. And this basically consists of teenagers who grow out of their clothes and regularly discard their clothing garments or footwear. There is also a lack of gender-inclusive thrift stores. For example, most of the existing thrift stores are only for females, so we plan on breaking the stereotype that thrifting is just for women. There are many studies that also mention that more than 10 million ton textiles are disposed every year in India, and over 3 million of it is incinerated, and around 10 million tons get sent to landfills, creating a harmful environmental impact as it takes textiles between 20 to 200 years to decompose.
To all these problems, we have one simple solution: Thrifting. Thrifting allows the customers to put their undesired clothes to someone else's use, hence reducing the clothing waste. It will benefit both the buyer and the seller,
as the seller gets to earn profit by selling the unwanted clothes, and the buyer can purchase trendy clothes at a more affordable price. Thrifting is not only eco-friendly, but also completely gender inclusive. We do not discriminate against a particular sex, social gender, or gender identities, and do not perpetuate gender stereotypes.
So let me just walk you through our competition and the potential difficulties that we might have to tackle to enter the game. Next slide. Here is a list of organizations doing similar work. Evergreen Thrift Store is working upon building a community and also rescues clothes from factories, which helps them stand out. Lulu Thrift don't only focus on clothing, that is, they sell other aesthetic items too. Also, they have a very catchy and synergized social media feed. Thrift India have plenty of reach with features and articles, etc. Also, many Indian social media influencers often flaunt their products. But a common drawback that we see in them is that none of them have a website or an app, which means they just focus on selling and buying through Instagram and don't have any other facilities. They also don't offer a gender and size inclusive listing. This results in the items being pretty monogamous in terms of audience they cater to. So we intend to moving ahead while keeping these pointers in mind.
We move on to the third topic, which is the target market. Our target audience consists of teenagers and young adults of the age group 12 to 17 years. Now, giving an upper limit of 17 years does not necessarily mean that 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds cannot buy or sell clothes, but it means that we are targeting the groovy group. Now, we needed to restrict the buyers and the sellers in Delhi NCR due to the reason that many of us reside in Noida, New Delhi, and Gurgaon. This, however, is just the beginning of our business. We're assuming that the buyers and the sellers are trendy and fashionable, as the most common reason the buyers and the sellers will buy clothes frequently would be because of the fact that they want to buy the in vogue clothes and, of course, to live sustainably along with gaining profits. Moving on, as you can see, Thriftain's customers are of two types. So there are the buyers of the clothes and there are the sellers of the clothes. Here we have shown the example of two customers, Ananya and Rahul. Ananya is a 16-year-old living in Gurgaon who loves fashion and keeping up with trends. However, she has a low budget of buying clothes. Our app would provide a cost-effective and trendy clothing alternative. Rahul is a 15-year-old living in Delhi with a wish to contribute to the environment in some way or the other. Our service's mission is to help people live a more sustainable life while helping us reduce the clothing wastage and somewhat reusing and recycling it. As you can see, Rahul will now be able to contribute to the environment as well as earn some profit.
After this, we want to talk about how we want to market ourselves. Well, we want to market ourselves in four primary ways. The first is social media. We have seen that 26.31% of active mobile internet users use Instagram monthly. Instagram and Snapchat are two of the most popular social sites used by teenagers. We have already created our Instagram and LinkedIn accounts and plan to expand our reach on social media. Secondly, we have our website. We have already built our website and are accepting used products to be sold through our website from all our co-founders and, of course, friends. Thirdly, we have the app. We plan to build an app exclusively for thrifting, where users find it much easier to sell and buy clothes through us. And finally, we want to use marketing partners. Our current marketing partner is Endless Connections, which is a fellow project from the Early Entrepreneur Program. Last but not the least, we also want to use other forms of marketing like Instagram marketing, influencer marketing, and affiliate marketing.
You might be wondering what makes us unique or stand out from our competitors. You might have observed a ton of Instagram pages with individuals running their own thrift stores. However, if you wish to list your products, you would of course have to create a platform yourself, market it, and gain a minimal amount of followers. At Thriftain, we eliminate all these steps by creating an integrated platform where buyers and sellers can interact together through a chat section. At times, even these Instagram platforms where people might face problems such as lack of reviews, Thrifting offers a review section to rate every seller post their thrifting experience. Considering the second point, taking into account thrifting's Instagram platforms where each of them only sell products such as accessories, jewelries, or clothing with one Instagram platform for each product. It of course makes it difficult for these buyers to reach out to individual sellers. We ensure a holistic and filtered platform consisting of shoes, vintage, CDs, clothing, accessories, and other products. You might have also commonly heard and observed, as Prisha said, that thrifting platforms are mainly meant for women. However, in order to break such a stereotype, we ensure and entertain genders of all spectrums and, of course, are size inclusive. Comparing ourselves to platforms such as OLX and Quicker, we charge a smaller margin revenue of 5% and hope to increase it in the future depending upon our sales. Lastly, our initiative is the For Teens by Teens initiative, ensuring a generally friendly thrifting experience.
All right, now taking a look at our milestones. So as you can see, we have four major milestones. So the first one is to present a wide range of products on our websites. Then we plan to launch an app that allows our users to buy and sell clothes more easily. It also allows, it also serves as another medium through which we can reach out to others. Then comes refurbishing damaged clothes. So at this point in time, we expect sellers to sell clothes that are in good condition. But in the near future, we plan to take old, worn-out clothes, refurbish them, and sell it to our consumers. Then finally, possibly the most exciting milestone of all is breaking our geographic barriers and going pan-India. That's it from me. We can.
So I'll be talking about the revenue model. So our main expenses are the packaging, which costs us rupees 64 per unit, and the Wix premium that we have bought, which cost us rupees 185 per month. For the delivery services, we have seen the prices of both Danzo and Swiggy Jenny. The price of Swiggy is rupees 29 for the first 2 kilometers and additional 15 rupees per kilometer. Danzo costs us rupees 45 for the first 2 kilometers with additional 15 rupees per kilometer. When the distance for Danzo is less than 2 kilometers, it costs us only rupees 30. These delivery charges will be included in the cost of the clothes and will be paid by the buyers. The clothes will be sold at 30% of its original price, and we will only take a 5% commission, which will be our main source of revenue. I'll pass it on to Parth.
Yeah, so now I'll be talking about our main sources of funding. So our company has chosen three main lines to fund our business in the earlier days of our initialization. The first one being fundraising. So we have decided that through the use of different sources and sites, we'll be raising funds for our business. This will be both an effective and a fast way, as this will reach out to many. And furthermore, this will also be a good way to make people aware and create a bigger impact, as many people will be able to get information about our business when we share this, when we raise funds through these sites. Second being the revenue generated. So a company will be only keeping 5% of the generated revenue from the sales, and all of it will be reinvested back into the business so that our impact increases as much as possible. Third one being our own personal shareholders investment, which will be our own personal investment made into the business so that our operations can begin.
So this is our website and this is the homepage, and here we will be displaying all our products. The About Us section is about us and about the store. It also states the services we provide, like buying, selling, and donating products. On the Store Policies tab, we have certain store policies which will help you all. For the sellers, all items should be in usable conditions and sanitized. They should not contain any holes, and if the description does not match the product, the seller must pay all the expenses. The selling price of the product should be 35% of the original product. For the buyers, we will have delivery charges and the delivery might take a few days. Regarding the donations or any other problem, you can contact us through our chat option on our website, go on the Contact Us tab and fill up a short form, or even mail us or DM us on our Instagram account. We will get back to you as soon as possible. Overall, Thriftain is a very accessible and user-friendly website. We hope you have a great experience while using this.
So, so this is us, the members of Group 3, and we are grateful to be able to put our energy into this project and are very hopeful for its future. Thank you all for sitting through this presentation, and you can contact us through the links. I think someone will be putting the links in the chat box, so you can easily contact us. Thank you so much.
Awesome, guys. Can I quickly just request you to go back to the costing slide, if possible? Thanks, Shreya.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you. Which slide?
Costing, Manya? Okay, while we do that, Rashid, can you jump on, please? Super, thank you.
Sure. So the stuff I loved how clear the problem was. I felt it immediately. So I think the problem was extremely clear, and that got clear. You all spent 2-3 minutes on it, reaffirming it. So the problem got really clear, which was fantastic. I love the story that you built to explain to us how exactly it works with Ananya and Rahul. That made it very real. So we understood exactly how things worked. I loved 4 teens by teens. I thought that was really great to think of it as this is who we're really focusing on. This is who we're for. It was very, very clear. I think 2 things to sort of keep in mind, maybe when you're taking next steps or things to consider. Number 1 is linked to the point I really liked, which was 4 teens by teens. I know at one point we shared, it doesn't mean we would exclude people who are beyond teenage years, right? Like 30, 40, etc. I think sometimes you've got to be strong and say, hey, we are not for those type of people, and actively call that out, because then you are truly 4 teens by teens. To be authentically 4 teens by teens and then also have 10% of your audience be 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds might get a bit weird. You know how Facebook is for absolutely everybody? At the beginning, it was very exclusively only for certain universities in the United States, and not being able to be on Facebook made people really want to aspire to something like being on Facebook, and that's what drove its initial success. So one thing I would definitely look to borrow from is be exclusively for teens and say no to everybody apart from that. That's one thing to consider. The second thing, in terms of taking this a step forward, you talked about how important marketing was and how your competition had influencers, etc. One of the first things I would do is identify an influencer or a mentor in the space who has your views and can guide you in terms of your philosophy, your ethos, how to make sure you're on top of current trends in this space as well. I think that would be pretty interesting and give a boost to your marketing as well. But yeah, again, those are just 2 suggestions to take it to the next level. Whenever I'm suggesting things to take it to the next level means I've already bought into the premise, the problem, the solution. So you guys did really well at presenting that.
Thank you so much. That is definitely something we can work on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, team, you guys killed it. It was awesome. I loved most of the things Rashid has covered, so I'll keep it snappy. I'll walk you through my notes. I think it was fantastic, the niche, again, like Rashid said, that the vibe of the presentation and also all of you on the team really came through very solid, very cool vibe is what I got, even through the I don't know, they're called flat people, or the infographics on the screen right at the beginning. I could understand that there's like a very teen, cool, woke branding to it. So love that. You guys floored me with Ananya and Rahul. I think anybody who puts a real name to the users they're targeting is really grounded in empathy, and to me that's really important. So I know you guys are taking into account the actual user and your target audience. So that was really, really amazing. Also, what I loved was you have collaborated with a marketing partner from this program. So it's truly, for teens by teens, because you are collaborating and being the self-sustained community who doesn't need adults for the most part. And also just anchoring me to a thrift shop really helped me understand how your model worked. So as a next step, I would actually go and look at how thrift shops work and think about amalgamating it with other models like an Amazon perhaps. But that anchor was really worked for me. A couple of quick pointers for your level up, I would say, was because your vibe was really cool from a presentation point of view, I would like to see more visuals. So at the start, when you all were talking through the problem, I would have loved to see a visual like this one for a cause and effect, you know, when you make a case for how much of wastage there is and stuff like that. I would like to stay true to your brand and show that it come through in your entire presentation. So I would like to see more visuals. On the business model, I do feel personally that as you're thinking about marketing and you're thinking about your target audience, that there will be a behavioral change you have to bring about, because thrift shops, like you said, are stereotypes. So one of the things you have to take into account is how do we make secondhand clothes cool? Or how do we get people to donate more, right? So that part I think is missing right now, but would be a big part of your marketing, which is how do we get that awareness out there? How do we make it cool to buy and sell clothes that we don't need anymore or buy secondhand? And finally, I wanted to come to the cost structure because I'm still not 100% clear on, like, you know, you guys spoke about when Samira showed us the website itself. I understood how the quality control would work, but I would like to see that in the overall model. You know, I see that your website costs will be included because that's where most of the work is going on. Your team and support costs will also sort of come into play. But so those are just small nuances, very like business coach specific, but overall, I love the vibe. I love the empathy. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the feedback. Really means a lot. We can work on that too.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Okay, over to from our team Thriftin to our team number 6. Team 6, are we ready?
Just a second, I'll present my screen.
Take your time, Priyansh. Not a problem. I know we are keeping you on your feet by not disclosing, you know, the order, but amazing.
Can you all see the screen?
We can.
Paw Sapiens, become a hassle-free dog parent. Paw Sapiens is working towards making the lives of dog owners hassle-free, and we make sure they face no problems in the maintenance of their dog. It is hassle-free because all the information is reliable and all in one place, and it's not time-consuming.
So our entrepreneurial venture essentially stands on 3 indispensable pillars. The main one, the most important one being our team, of course. A little bit about ourselves. We're a group of teens dispersed all over the country, united by the common cause to bridge the gap between accessibility and care for pet owners. Other than us, there are veterinarians, they are professional advisors, how to treat with dogs and how to help people in times of adversity. We also have pet owners, who are people who wish to give their pets the best.
Okay, so what are the problems that we're targeting? So dog owners usually face a lot of problem in training their dogs, and there's a lack of proper guidance online. So we'll be solving that problem by adding videos. Then dog owners are usually unable to find reliable vets for their dogs. And also a lot of dog owners are unmotivated to exercise with their dogs and neglect it, due to which the dog can get health issues and become unfit.
So our main entrepreneurial idea is we aim to provide a platform wherein dog owners can access verified and reliable information they require for ensuring their dog's well-being, where you can access the best veterinarians available to ensure your dog receives the best care in order to preserve their health and happiness. We also include a chat platform where users of the app can interact with other dog owners and nearby and build a community for you and your dogs to have play days with or just socialize. It is an app which brings all of your dog's needs at your fingertip, avoiding the hassle of having to book appointments or waiting hours in the vet's office. Now, all your dog's needs can be addressed by using our app. Join our community and become a paw sapien.
The features on a mobile app. Firstly, our app provides all the information a dog owner requires on maintenance of a dog, which is verified by experienced professionals. Secondly, we provide a list of reliable and trustable veterinarians uh, available nearby, along with their ratings and reviews for customer convenience. Third of all, there's a timetable feature so the users can have a proper schedule unique to their dog, so that you can never miss out on any important chores. And lastly, there's a chat option that allows users to connect with the dog owners nearby and build a community so that they can organize play dates, exercise sessions, and more for their dogs.
We assure you that our users get the most reliable information regarding vets and professionals. This means, according to your location, our software will be able to locate the most trustworthy vets. In the event your pet does get sick, like I mentioned earlier, we are providing the most trustworthy and experienced vets who will make it as easy and quick for your pet dogs to recover. This is our most exciting feature. Our users can actually connect with each other locally or globally. Let's say that two people have an issue getting their dogs sick. They can get connected with each other and have the opportunity to solve their problems together. This way, we're trying to build a community within our users.
So now our main competitors. We found three competitors. One is GoodPup, Pup2Date, and Pup4. So GoodPup allows access to a vet and certified dog trainer on this app via videos. Then Pup2Date allows users to create a schedule for taking care of their dog. And Pup4 provides dog owners with the necessary products to overcome the dog's problems. So how we'll differentiate from these apps is we'll be combining all three of these apps into one app, which is like the three different features in one app. So instead of having to use three different apps, you can just use one app.
Dogs are one of the most popular pets, with 75% of pet owning households having at least one. Our target audience consists of dog owners, specifically first time dog owners, who work full time jobs, are inexperienced in taking care of dogs, and are having trouble training their dog and finding good vets.
Coming to marketing channels and strategies. So as of now, we have two main channels. The first one is our app and website. The other is widely used social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. In terms of strategies, the prerequisite is word of mouth. We also plan to collaborate with major pet influencers so that we can directly impact their followers. We've thought of approaching leading Gen Z newspapers and magazines as well, because developing and caring for pets is a need of the hour for them. And we are also planning to strike a deal with veterinarians so that we could get their references and it could help our business a lot.
So our revenue model consists of two subscription plans. The first one is a free subscription plan, in which users have access to all articles and video content. The users also have access to the messaging services. This is completely free for all users. And moving on to a premium subscription plan. In this, the users have the option of using various search filters. Filters like the dog's breed, age, etc. provide the users with much more personalized information that would work best for them. The users can also book up to 3 appointment sessions with vets every 2 weeks. The prices for the premium subscription plan is rupees 100 monthly subscription plan and a rupees 900 yearly subscription plan. The users can also utilize a 3-week-long free trial. We have two main funding strategies right now. The first one is to bootstrap and reinvest all the earnings into the company until the company is profitable. The second one is to save money while getting vets on our app is to provide them with an incentive that for every 5 dogs they treat, we'll give shelter to a stray dog. This also makes us a social enterprise and would help us connect with the users on an emotional level.
Okay, so we quickly came up with our prototype, and this is the landing page of our app. And once we scroll right, we will be on this page, which basically provides the user with basic information about us. And then once they scroll right again, they will be prompted with a sign up and a login form. And then this is going to be our homepage where they can see their recommended vets and the community posts, and they can even search.
On this page, you'll be able to look at recommended vets and dog trainers and decide which one you want to speak to in order to get specific personalized advice. Here's a sample one-on-one conversation with the dog trainer. On this page, you'll be able to connect with other users of the app and help them with their doubts. You can also ask questions to this community and get their feedback. Here's what the search option will look like. This will allow users to search through articles on how to care for dogs. In the premium version of our app, we allow users to add search filters for more specified results.
Thank you so much for hopping through this journey of ours, and a big thanks to Big Red Group and our mentors. Just as Kinky Friedman said, money can buy you a fine dog, but only love can make him wag his tail. We all know that dogs are one of those rare creatures who love you more than they love themselves. No one should ever take that love for granted. Not everyone gets it. And we hope to be that bridge connecting your dog's love and yours. Thank you.
Great job, great group 6. So I'm just going to jump in first also because I am a dog parent, and so very, very strong feelings. Firstly, I think your branding was flawless. When it started, I was just so drawn into the presentation, into the colors, into the logo. It really spoke to me. So if I'm your target audience, then I absolutely loved the branding throughout. I also really like as part of your USP that you said verified and reliable information, because I do see that as a gap in India. We're constantly looking at what's happening in different countries, and India, we still as dog parents don't have access to information that's contextual to dogs in India. So your USP really spoke with me again. And some features that I absolutely loved and I would be very excited to use were play dates, just bringing a community of dog parents together. The timelines, like tracking stuff so nothing goes amiss. Right now we do it on Google Calendars, and our moms do it on the home whiteboard. And your prototyping, the wireframes, I think Nimish said that too. You all have done an exceptionally amazing job of wireframing the app, really put things into context of how interactive these features could be. So really, really, really great job on that one. Personally biased because I would love for this app to come to fruition so that I can use it. One sort of business coach feedback that I have was I saw your pricing model. And I'm not sure on what, I'm sure you'll have done the research, but one of the ways to think about it would be think about where in India at least people are using it, because I know that pet parents spend a lot of money on their pets, on their dogs. Because one sort of purchase when you go to a store like Heads Up for Tails is about 1,500 to 2,000 rupees. So if you can also look at differentiating and not just democratizing, which is make it accessible to all, which is fantastic. But one of your pricing models can be the premium service, I think, can be priced a bit higher. I do think it's a bit underpriced at the moment. But that would be the one sort of consideration I would have to sort of look at the pricing overall for what all you have to offer on that app. But yeah, that's it for me. Raj?
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Love the one-liner. I thought you guys nailed it again. I'm also feeling like you guys are getting these one-liners way better than I do, so I might need your consulting help at some point, because I'm definitely not able to do it the way you guys do it. The detail of the prototypes, how you thought through every single aspect of it was fantastic. Made me feel like this wasn't just a high level sort of painting and you sort of can't see what's inside. It sort of gave me an HD picture of what's going to happen, which I thought was really impressive. I also must call out that I loved the finish of the presentation. It was a very, very strong finish to the presentation, not just going through the slides, but putting in those couple of lines about why this is important, connection with dogs, etc., actually leaves a very nice feeling at the end of the presentation as well. So those are things I thought you all did really well. One suggestion and one question I actually have for you that I'd like to sort of know the answer to. The first suggestion is that oftentimes, as is in the name, pet parents, they treat their dogs or their pets just like they would their babies. I think there's a lot to borrow from the baby industry as well. So I would urge you to spend some time looking at the different solutions that people have for parents of human babies, because those type of things might be transferable to the pet world as well. So I definitely do some research on that and see what you can borrow. The question I had is, I know you've got amazing features on this app and you've got a bunch of things that you can accomplish with it. The question I have for the group is, if you had to pick the one main feature of this app, one thing, you don't get to do all of the things, you get to do only one thing. Which of the features are you actually, would you consider? Would you put your hat on and say, that's the one we want to start with?
Anyone from group 6?
Yeah, go for it. Priyansh, I saw your hand.
So I think if you want to start off, we start off with the providing reliable and trusted information online, because finding a good network of veterinarian vets is not easy at the start, and also building a network, we require a lot of users. So to build that user base, I think we'll start off by providing reliable and trusted information.
Fantastic. That's a great answer and well reasoned as well. The reason why I asked is, now that you're thinking about one feature, building an app is a really big initiative. It takes a lot of time, effort, expertise, focus, money, etc. But when you break it down to one thing that you're going to solve, you don't necessarily have to start with an app, right? You could build verified, reliable information and distribute that to people via an email list, a WhatsApp group, anything like that as well. So what I would urge you again is that all of us have really big goals, which are fantastic. The next step is to break it down into, okay, what's the first thing I'm going to focus on? And if it's reliable and verifiable information, then you don't need a bunch of funding to start over there, right? You can actually get started with that and move on to the fantastic things you have. So don't compromise on your overall vision, but you don't have to do everything, on day one. It might be a bit hard, but fantastic stuff. Again, really fantastic. And the biggest endorsement is a pet owner like Kriti wants to be on it.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
Very quickly, as Rashid said that, I would just, piggybacking on that would be really important to say, here's the first thing we're going to start with for all of us, would be nice to see in the end, but just wanted to jump in and say that.
Thank you, guys. I just want to tell everyone who's watching that we are halfway there. So thank you for your patience. And again, really interesting projects coming up. Again, and to all the students who have gone so far, amazing stuff, guys. I'm really proud of you. Again, as I said, it's not easy to work on these wireframes from the smallest, minutest detail, right? It looks very simple on screen, but it takes hours and hours of work. So kudos to you, and we'll move on to Team 9.
So Christian will be screen sharing now.
Just 1 second.
Take your time, Christian. No problem.
Good evening, one and all present here. We are Transcendent. Before telling you what we do, let me talk about a big issue in the fashion industry. From a user's perspective, online shopping gets so tough. I can't find the right size. If I just want plain t-shirts, I have to search a million brands and go through all their sizing charts to see which size will fit me. The search is so tedious. This is a common complaint we see from an online shopper. They know what they want, but the entire process is time consuming. Along with that, online shopping has a big disadvantage of sizing. Different brands have different size charts, and the customer has to go through them to understand their right fit. Even after all this, clothes get returned. Why? Because, oh, it didn't fit me. Maybe I should go for an extra small next time.
Why do clothes get returned when it comes to online shopping? Sizing. But what if we say we can solve this issue? Get you your right fit. Transcendent has a solution. When you come on our website, your body measurements are taken by an AI technology, followed by questions based on what your preferences are. So if you want to look for nightwear, you can select that, you can select your gender, and you will be filtered those clothing options for you in your size, in the style you're looking for from a wide range of brands that will be available. We compare your data with the size charts of each brand and then proceed to filter out only those that best suit you. Now you're free to browse the best without the worry of your selection being ill-fitting. We help to reduce your search of having to go through various size charts of every brand. Clicking on something you like will redirect you to the brand's website with the correct size already updated for you to add to your cart and rock that outfit.
We worked together as the Angry Monkeys group to streamline the exhausting process of finding the right fits. After extensive research and data analysis, along with numerous bent and trashed ideas, we finally developed the concept of an algorithm that searches for you instead of having you search. Transcendence skims through a plethora of brands, fits, and styles to bring the ones perfect for you, allowing you to choose right in the least amount of time, bringing quality over quantity to you in the fastest and most efficient way possible. We aim to end the endless cycle of poor fits and exhaustive hunting and present to you Transcendent, a fit for all.
We have looked at our competitors, and I found companies that have AI technology and many brands, but they don't use both. We combine AI and brands and measure your size and give you the perfect fit. There are a number of aggregators in the fashion industry worldwide. Farfetched brings a varied range of brands on their platform, whereas Vertisize and Zeekit cater to the fashion industry as data analysis. They do not help in sizing. Our, uh, our, our edge is that we use artificial intelligence to give you the perfect fit from all options of various brands from the comfort of your home. In the current pandemic, we are the best option for the fashion industry and its customers. We give you a simplified shopping experience, take the hassle and guesswork out of buying.
In India, 95% of the population prefers to shop online. According to a survey conducted in 2017, 73% of these online shoppers face challenges with sizing, and we at Transcendent have a solution. Online shoppers who buy from a wide range of brands are our target customers. Let's look at User 1. User 1 is an average 25-year-old from Mumbai, India, who shops online a lot. They go to a large variety of brands, but they couldn't find their correct size. Transcendent helps you rock that look.
We, as a website, are aggregators. Our program browses through numerous websites while simultaneously referring it to data in order to find the perfect fit for you. The time and effort you would have otherwise put into individually browsing through each catalog or site is saved. We put the effort for you. This allows you to escape the hassle of returning, changing, and altering by simply perfecting the process. We are like the Trivago for clothes. We are going to make this company a hit by giving you the perfect fit.
So we at Transcendent believe that marketing is one of the most important aspects of a successful business. Since marketing is the main communication between the consumers and us, it is absolutely essential for us to do it right. We at Transcendent are aiming to use three major marketing strategies. Firstly, our website. Our main business revolves around a website which is well maintained. For maximum impact, our website will be responsive, up to date, and represent our company well. Secondly, social media marketing. We will use social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube, etc., to promote our company. After building a loyal social media following, we will acquire more users. After a suitable amount of time, we will also use influencers and YouTubers to advocate and promote Transcendent. Short ads on such platforms can also add to the customer base. This would further increase website traffic and raise brand awareness. Thirdly, email marketing. Transcendent will send emails to potential or current customers. We'll be using emails to send advertisements, request business, or solicit sales. Transcendent will email consumers based on preferences to develop a personal bond.
So far, we have made a social media account and also built a prototype, which is a website. We'll be working on the AI technology after receiving funding and tie up with small brands and boutiques and display their products. In the future, however, we expect a lot of growth. With the correct marketing strategy, we can get more users on the platform. We'll make sure brands trust us by reaching set goals for the first month and then changing them. In the future, we hope to partner with bigger brands and also with brands that provide plus size clothing and sustainable clothing.
We will be earning revenue from a per click basis. Every time someone clicks on our website and gets redirected to the respective brand's landing page, we get money. To help brands build trust, we will not be charging them for the first month and make a goal of getting the brand 500 clicks. If we reach that goal, the brand ties up with us. Along with this, we will also be earning money from the revenue. We will also be earning revenue by having advertisements of different brands on our website. And after having a dedicated clientele, we hope brands will want to tie up with us themselves because of our success.
We at Transcendent have aspired to acquire money through VC financing. Our earliest investment will be from VC financing or personal savings, which will account for about 5 to 6 lakhs. In the absence of VC financing, we will consider reaching out to angel investors to provide us the capital and resources that we require to expand our network. Thank you.
Lastly, we'd like to thank you all for sticking around throughout the entire presentation and understanding our business module. Now, we'd also like to present a prototype. So this is what our website looks like. Transcendent for All is how we named the website. And when you open the website, you'd first be, you'd see shop the collection. And when you'd press on that, we will be developing an AI technology that will go on to that, where you can start, like the AI robot will scan your body and come up with measurements. The whole process behind AI will be mentioned when you go on to actually start like measuring your body, and then we will be filtering out clothing options from the brands we will be teaming up with, and you'll be able to choose from a wide variety of clothes of different styles in your sizing, so you don't really have to worry about the sizing. So if you like a product and you press on it, you will be redirected to the website of the brand where you can add it to cart and buy it. So yes, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Ranveer, for spending so much time. I know you were the main head for designing, but over to Kriti and Rashid for comments.
Okay, I'll kick us off. Stuff I loved. Problem definition, nailed it, felt the problem. And I think I told you on day one, I already feel this problem, but even if I didn't personally, I felt it now. So very great, really good stuff on that. Really liked that you all kept coming back to the Trivago for clothes, and the reason being that it made it really simple to understand what you all are heading towards. So sometimes as entrepreneurs, we all like to be like, modern artists and say, oh, this is our work. It's so complicated. Nobody understands it. Only we understand it. But for people looking at it, customers, clients, you have to make it as simple as possible. Something as simple as Trivago for clothes was really good at doing that. So I thought that was really good. I also like that there was a lot of emotion in terms of the presentation itself that really came through. It wasn't just a let's read off these things, but a lot of emotion came through. So the presentation was great as well. Just some feedback in terms of next steps and thoughts you might want to look at. The first one is that there's a lot going on. What y'all said towards the end in terms of how you generate revenue led me to believe that your USP actually, if you break it down to its core, is that y'all have to be an amazing at digital marketing and getting people to your website. because you basically said that the way you're going to make money is get people from your website to click on brands, which means that digital marketing is what the entire game is about, and that should be your focus. So that's one thing to consider. The second thing to consider is sometimes you don't have to do all of the hard work and aggregate the brands and do the AI and do the marketing, etc. Sometimes you can just look at partners and say, you know what, they've got the AI down. I'm going to get the brands and we're going to collab. I'm going to make them a partner and we're going to collaborate, or we'll do the AI. They've got the brands, right? So always scout for partnerships. Sometimes in the weirdest sense, your competition can be your best collaborators. So I just keep my eyes open for something like that.
We're in sync when our feedback pointers are exactly the same. But I'll add to what Rashid said. I think the ones I definitely echo with is Trivago for clothes. The anchor was so relatable. You guys absolutely got that on point. The problem statement really spoke to me as well. I loved the intensity of Rock That Look. It's very unique and very simple and really resonates with everyone. I know Vedika started with the user's perspective, and that really spoke to me as well. Quoting the user, being the user, quoting the quotes and the enthusiasm was a great start to the presentation. And the click-based model was very simple as a revenue model. And we know that it works. So I'm glad that you guys are on track with the trends in the industry today. So those are the things I loved. Adding to what Rashid said, because most of it he covered. A couple of feedback pointers. I wore my lawyer hat on for some parts of it, and this is more of a general feedback. The minute someone says, and just saying this as a potential user for all of you, is the minute I hear of AI and scanning, one of the things that becomes an automatic friction and scare is, what about my privacy? What happens with the scan? So I would have loved to see, don't worry about your data, it's secure with us, or what we're doing with data privacy. For those of you saying AI and scanning, that's an automatic trigger in most users. And I know this for a fact, more women than men. There's a lot of research out there. So maybe that would be a great thing I would like to see in the presentation and the model as well. And yes, I think what Rashid mentioned, I didn't really see a lot of the cost structuring, but digital marketing, website upkeep, building this algorithm. I know you all said 5 to 6 lakhs, but I would look into that overall as, cost structure to start with, and then the running costs of this business. Those would be my two very specific feedback points. And also, if I continue to wear my lawyer hat on, just thinking about the intellectual property for your algorithm will also be a cost, and sort of you have to take it into account in your timelines, because that takes time. So yeah, I wore my lawyer hat this time around, but really loved the enthusiasm and the very specific problem you're solving. Very specific and niche. Great job.
Thank you so much for the feedback.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Team 9. That was great. Moving on to sort of a serious problem of waste and sustainability. Moving on to group number 1. If you could share your screen and move forward.
I will present in just a second. Welcome to Junk It Up. Here at Junk It Up, we believe in being part of the solution and not the pollution.
So, in lines with the name, our broader area of focus was the amount of wastage happening and how we can reduce it. Then we came across this fact that nearly 40% of the food produced each year is wasted or lost, and that causes us, India, a loss of rupees 1 lakh crore. So this really triggered us, and then we thought of focusing on food waste.
Waste management is a very broad categorization. It includes industrial waste, hazardous waste, and many more. But why did we choose food waste? The majority of food wastage in India is caused before it's even packaged. And this is caused due to the loopholes, the transport, and the infrastructure system in India. So since all the food waste is disposed of in landfill sites, it negatively affects the environment as well as our health. So our narrowed down problem statement is the unhygienic disposal of food waste, and the possibility to minimize it.
The solution we all came up with was making a compost from the restaurant leftovers and the sabzi what we throw away. Making compost keeps these materials out of us where they take up most of the space, and it makes it eating environment waste free. These compost helps the soil hold moisture and reduce water waste, and it is used in organic farming where the use of chemical fertilizers is not permitted. It promotes healthy.
I think our team member here is having some internet issues.
No
So
problem. Yeah.
our basic solution to the food wastage problem in India is to create a compost out of all the waste that there is in restaurants and sabji mandis. So basically gathering all food waste, which includes vegetable peels, fruit peels, vegetables and fruits which are lumpy and do not look visually appealing to most people, and making a compost out of it. So making compost keep these materials out of landfills where they don't take up space, and making our environment more waste free. So basically, this is our product. It is known as farmer's compost. So it is a bag which is best suited. So it has like compost which is best suited for large lands and mass cultivation, which is what farmers do. It is basically green manure, which is made up of leaves, twigs, and vegetable peels, etc. And it is best advised to be used for crops like pea, maize, etc. So our basic USP for farmers compost would be, so basically we all know that chemical fertilizers cost a lot, and when used for a large piece of land, the major expense of farmers is buying fertilizers. So we plan to reduce that cost and make our product cost efficient. Our product enhances the soil quality and increases soil fertility so that the produce is also good. And thirdly, it makes the farmer's produce completely organic, which is in demand in these days.
We also came up with a luxury range for our compost. This range basically targets the market of people who have small kitchen gardens, or the people who produce some very expensive plants like white coffee, which costs you about 30 times the normal coffee. So we focus on premium packaging and much superior quality compared to our normal compost. And this compost has a better process. It goes through which is why it is superior quality. We also focus on some psychographic segmentation strategies. This is a strategy with luxury brands use to portray their product as an extremely expensive and high quality one. I think this can be a boost for our finances because it can definitely help us flourish our cash flow. Thank you.
So we have three main competitors. One is Movie Trash Man, Wormy World, Hanja Biotech. Movie Trash Man mainly focuses on household waste, while we focus on supermarkets and local markets who throw the fruits and vegetables away. Vermigold and Hanja Biotech focus on reducing waste and carbon footprint, recycling plastic. We focus on making compost and providing it to the farmers at a lower cost.
We've chosen 4 main marketing methods to reach out to our customers. We're printing pamphlets to create brand awareness in communities and villages, which will then be distributed by ordinary people or local panchayats. Considering farmers are our target market, we rely significantly on word of mouth and recommendations from happy customers. We also plan on being active on a few social media sites and keep an online presence for individuals who are interested in our luxury product or would like to contact us. In addition, consumers will be able to ask questions or make recommendations via social media as well. Plus, to reach customers who do not use social media, we want to advertise our product over the radio.
We're currently active on Instagram at junkitup.im.
Since making compost takes a few months during a year, we'll have to fund in intervals. We can raise money by asking family and friends for funding, and we intend on paying them back once we start generating profit. And if necessary, we can ask venture capitalists or try to get loans from different banks.
For our future plans and milestones, in 2021, we plan on making a prototype into a profitable business with the help of Gram Panchayats and district government. And as for 2023, we plan on going all India with a farmer's compost. And for 2025, we want to go international with a luxury brand.
Even though all of us were co-founders, all of us took specific roles. Suhana Gupta and Shivansh were the co-chief in operations. Suhana Sethi was the officer in marketing operations. Mahir is the head in finance. Yuvraj is the head in product designing and packaging. Whereas Isha is the head in graphic design. Adhirat is the officer in human resource. Vedya is the officer in marketing and research. Mehak is the officer in information and data. And we have Visista, who's the officer in research and development. Thank you.
Wow.
Awesome.
Thank you. Chunk it up over to our mentors once again.
Love the name. Can you tell me what does HR do in this company?
I would like to just mention something. We could not show you the compost since it takes like 3 months to like actually build. So that's why our prototype was just like the packaging that we could show as of yet.
Yes, I think Mahir had brought that up as well. Adira, can you tell me what HR is doing on the team?
What, ma'am?
What is HR's role on the core team?
I can't hear you properly.
Oh, am I not audible?
You can say it again, Kriti.
Yeah, I said, what is HR's role in the company? I'm very keen to hear. Everyone talks about HR. So Adira, can you tell me a little bit about HR? What is the role?
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. So basically, HR is supposed to be the guy who recruits and takes care of the relations with the employees. So we actually, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Shivansh.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, Adhiraj was the guy who distributed like the jobs to everyone, right? So we didn't really have a proper name to give to him, right? So we just like kind of gave HR to him.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I saw his role. I was in your. You're good. No worries. I was just very curious because I saw your team actually. I was one of the mentors on later. And I was just curious about, is that why Adhiraj role happened? Okay, awesome. I'll jump in and then Rashid can follow up. I just have one question, team, because it's the product business. I wanted to understand where will the composting happen? Like, where are you all creating?
Ma'am, you mean the area, or like do you mean like if you had a warehouse or a factory or what?
Yeah, like where is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? You need a specific space for it? Is it going to be at
No,
your
ma'am, it's
home?
probably gonna be like a warehouse or like a small empty area because we don't. So basically, there's hot composting and cold composting. So both don't actually need like a lot of equipment. It's basically only worms and like storage facility, right? So if we can get like a good piece of land, we can probably go ahead. And if you talk about like the area, we're probably willing to keep it between the sabzi mandis, like the main city area and the farmers area. And also, if you want to talk about the regions, we're not targeting the west region like the Haryana and Punjab regions. We're actually targeting the eastern region like Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh and all.
Interesting. Okay, got it. Okay, understood. All right, so I'll jump in and give you my feedback. I absolutely love that you all started with pictures. So the numbers you showed us was a newspaper clipping. The pictures of I remember a lady in the mandi brought a lot of empathy at the start of your presentation. I really, really loved that. You guys know I love empathy and everything it entails. I also really liked, I know that you said that you don't have a prototype to show us yet, but the picture packaging and the pictures of it was quite nice to see. And especially because you all had a regular and a luxury division. I think that's really, really smart, but be mindful that that means there are two separate target audiences for you. That I really love. I think one of my feedback points for later was thinking about the panchayats and the the district governments which you brought back. Isha spoke about it a bit later as well. Overall, really thought there was a lot of empathy. I think it's a very important topic that you guys have. It's a big topic that you all have narrowed down. So I love the process of how you thought about it and narrowing down to a very specific problem. So I think Isha, when she started us off with part of solution, not pollution, just stuck with me. So great job with the hook. A couple of feedback points again for you. I think overall, as I was thinking about your model, marketing, when you spoke about marketing, to me, it will be a lot at the grassroots level, especially for the regular composting, which will be community led. So you'll have to start going into one community, one district, and sort of start from there. I know you mentioned radio, but I know Mahir said that he's connected to farmers and everything, but important to understand what will stop the uptake of your compost by farmers. So I would do a lot of insight interviews with farmers. And again, in different parts of the country, there will be different barriers to entry. So that would be my biggest sort of feedback for you, is go back and do insight interviews with farmers in East India if possible, or farmers around you, to understand how this would pan out. That would be the biggest thing. And think about if there are any resources or funding from the government that would encourage an innovation like this. I would also research a bit more on that. But yeah, great job otherwise. Great problem that you all are solving. Rashid?
It's always challenging to give feedback after Kriti because she's very comprehensive in her feedback. So I will avoid the temptation of reiterating a bunch of stuff over and over again. But one thing I really liked was the thought process behind the Premier product. I thought that was very smart to introduce and not just go with perhaps the cost-effective one targeted at farmers. It led me to think that there could be two routes to get this business off the ground. One of them would be that if you intend that there is a possibility to bootstrap this, if two things happen. One of them is that instead of trying to raise funding, since all you need is land and a warehouse, to find a partner and give them a stake in the business. Because if you guys watch Shark Tank, Mark Cuban keeps saying this, it's better to have a small part of a watermelon than a big part of a melon, right? So you'd rather make something big and have a small part of it rather than something small that isn't valued much. So I would bring a partner like that on board. I would also consider just doing the premium product to begin with a commitment to your audiences that when you hit X target, you will also bring out the cost-effective one to help farmers, because cash is king in a business like this. So it would help you generate cash. So that's something to think about. For me, the highlight is that in an entrepreneurial journey, things go wrong and unexpected things happen, like in the presentation when technical difficulties came in. What's most important in entrepreneurship is to navigate uncertainty. When things are uncertain, when things go wrong, what do I do? Can I keep going? Do I just keep quiet? What should I do, right? And I thought that was handled really, really well. And the team didn't get thrown off by it and kept going. So that gives me confidence that you'll apply the same thing in your entrepreneurial journeys as well. Really well done.
Thank you. Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you for your comments, everyone. Now we're on to our last three presentations. Really excited. So over to group number 8 now.
Is my screen visible?
Not yet, Sarthak.
Okay, I'll present it once again. Just a minute.
Remember to use the share screen option.
Now
just loading, but should be good. Yeah, we're good.
Better now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, hi, we're the mascots. We believe that we have the most effective and efficient way of ensuring that you fulfill all the recruiting and the recurring needs of your pets with minimal efforts. 5 out of every 10 pet owners agree to carry a huge responsibility when it comes to owning a pet. We, the mascots, aim to ease the pet parenting and encourage more people to adopt a mascot for themselves. Now, we're unloading your shoulders off of all the hassle that clings itself to the pet related shopping and pet raising.
So, what is the problem we are targeting? Today, if we take a look at the current scenario, pet parents are at a constant hassle related to the shopping for quality pet products such as food, toys, accessories, and finding them all at the same location. Exclusive and good quality, reliable products are not easily available in local pet stores due to limited demand and their high price range. And not everyone finds it convenient to go and review these products every time or find reliable sources.
Now, based on the problems we saw in the previous slide, my team was able to come up with some solutions to tackle those issues. Stating the first problem, which is the unavailability of premium imported pet products in local stores, through our app, we will add all kinds of imported pet food, which is ordered on demand by our customers, and we will be delivered to their doorstep timely. According to a survey we conducted, we found out that the majority of people get their pet products from local stores. So for regular pet foods, we will be connecting with the local pet stores in our app for quick and timely deliveries. The quality check of all the pet food and products we deliver from these local pet stores will be done. For the food delivery process, we will be providing customers to prepare their own pet goodie basket, which would be delivered to them weekly or monthly. Now, these pet baskets would include different kinds of food and nutritional items along with pet toys. Once the customers fix their pet basket, we will make sure the basket is delivered to them periodically without any hassle to visit the pet stores over and over. Now, according to PetEx India, that is India's premier pet industry expo, India is the fastest growing pet care market in the world. Pet care market in India is expected to grow at 14% annually to become a 33,000 million rupee market by 2022. Pet food market alone is projected to cross 20,000 million rupees by 2022. So pet food sales are majorly soaring in Delhi and Mumbai. By next 5 years, the pet food industry is expected to grow by 20%, which is why we are going to launch our app first in Delhi and Mumbai, then gradually increase our network.
Now, our major competing apps in the pet industry are Pet Phone, Pet Life, and First Pet. Pet Phone requires you to create a profile of all your pet's inputs and all the important information such as vet appointments, medications, allergies, and weight. Tail Life is another organization working for a similar cause, and it prepares custom meals for your pets and get them delivered. Pet First is the first aid app for pets that can help you pinpoint what's wrong with your pet before you can rush them to the vet.
Okay, so what makes our model different from others is that the major difference is that the other platform primarily focus only on cats and dogs, whereas we are targeting all pets. And we will also be sourcing exclusive imported products for our customers that aren't available at local pet stores, and we'll make sure they're always in stock. Our customers also have access to all-in-one customizable baskets that aren't available in local pet stores, and be it may pet accessories to toys or food products. All orders will be delivered at the comfort of the customer. Once the customer gets their basket fixed or confirmed, we make sure that the basket is being delivered every week or month.
Our target audience is centric around pet owners. There are around 20 million pet dogs in India, and their owners' willingness to pay indicates the possibilities for a profitable business. To better understand our consumers' needs, we completed a poll survey of questions from the difficulties of owning a pet to where individuals purchase the pet food. This information will prove valuable for crowdsourcing ideas and market assessment. Based on the data, our startup will serve various pets. We believe our customer experience is everything. It is possible to reach even small businesses by using an online supply chain and cooperating with other pet corporations like the Royal Canin and Pedigree. Idea one being we can provide customer credits on their mascot account when they shop on our site. Recording a short video, testimonial, and tagging us on social media will let consumers obtain a say rupee 500 credit to be used on their account. These videos can be shared on Facebook, Instagram, etc. Idea 2. Based on your pet, dog, cat, fish. Cute car stickers will be included in your delivery bag to show your love with your pet. A QR code of the app will provide free publicity. Sarthak, you're muted.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Sarthak.
Okay. Our business, like any other, has various costs attached to it. And when we looked at all the costs, be it fixed or variable costs, we grouped them into three broader categories, being app development, the delivery expenses, and the advertisement costs. And when we add the lump sum amount, it comes out to be 6 lakh Indian rupees. And we plan to raise this by talking to our friends and family, and if necessary in the future, to expand our platform into other cities apart from Mumbai and Delhi. We might also engage in crowdfunding or selling equity to people and diluting our stake in the company, like in order to raise the funds.
This is our app prototype, and at the initial stage, these are the features that we'll include. Location. Choose your delivery address, and you can also track your delivery status. Basket. To review your order before checkout to pay. Product categories, which allows you to customize your basket from various categories such as food, health, toys, and other supplies. We aim to make the platform more user-friendly through these and additional features that we will introduce later.
Sarthak, you're muted again if you are speaking.
I guess Arif must be muted for some reason, possibly. Or he must.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, Arif.
Yes. Well, we will partner with other companies and allow them to sell our product on our app while we take a small 10 or 15% commission for all the items that they sell. These items can either be sold through pet shops also, and on the goodie baskets we will be giving, or individually. For all items that we deliver, we'll also charge a small delivery charge depending on how far the customer is.
So here we have our team. It consists of 9 members. First is me, Sarthak Saraugi, who's the head of operations. Second, we have Shreya Nair, who's the head of management. Next, we have Shamita, who's the head of human resources. The Tamanna Yadav, who's the executive assistant. Maurya Nagpal, who's the head of communications. Shaurya Khosla, who's the head of marketing. Khushi Ladha, who's the app development correspondent. Arif, who's the pet store correspondent, and Sumer Gupta, who's the pet store correspondent. So at the end, now isn't this the perfect solution to all the hassle that clings itself to the pet-related shopping and pet raising? Thank you, panelists, parents, mentors, fellow early entrepreneurs, and other audience members watching on YouTube for taking out the time and listening to our business idea. We will be open to any and all questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarthak. You can stop the screen share. Awesome. I think it's great that the mentors get to see 2 projects in the pet industry or in the fashion industry. And of course, there's so much to learn. But over to Rafshan and Kriti for their comments now.
Okay, I'll go first this time, even though it's pets, and I'm sure Kriti is itching to go. Couple of things I really enjoyed. I really like that you said that Delhi and Mumbai was your target first, and then you'd move on from there. That shows to me that you're focused on making this successful, not just making it big or going out with a flame or going out with a bang within like 3 months or 6 months. So I really like that you're thinking long term. The second is if you guys actually did those surveys, that's amazing. Okay, did you manage to do like 122, get 122 responses and stuff within a
Yeah,
week?
we got
Yes,
about
Yeah, we
yes,
did.
120
Rashid, we did.
responses.
Okay, that's fantastic because, if it was me, I would definitely have lied in that presentation and said there were 100, but there actually wouldn't have been. So it's amazing that you guys actually did it, got the accurate numbers, shared it. Gives me lots of confidence and faith that you all will do a thorough job at the stuff you all do. So that was great as well. Um, I think for me, I have a little bit of a different take on your business model or your business proposition that might be worth considering. I see you guys as a subscription business. A subscription business is basically where somebody subscribes to you and says, hey, every month I want to get this box of pet products for my pet. I want to be surprised by them, delighted by them, make sure that they're useful as well. That's how I see your business. And I think that value proposition is simpler to achieve and longer term to achieve than perhaps having to go through the hassle of building out all of the other components. So I would consider just focusing on what we do is we curate these amazing boxes that we send to you every month for your pets. And there's a variety of products. You can tell us your preferences. We'll keep mixing it up. We'll keep it novel. We'll keep it exciting. And that way people stay with you for a long time. Subscription businesses are great because it gives you longevity, which means and consistency because Rashid is going to be paying X amount this month and then the next month and then the next month after that. So there's no fear of, oh my God, what's going to happen if we don't sell enough products at the same time. So I think there's a gap over there that might be worth considering. But obviously, all of these ideas just come to me because you've got all of the pieces in place and I'm able to make sense of it. So really well done putting all of those pieces in place. It's just a different angle to the business you might want to consider.
Thank you for the comments.
Thank you so much.
So I really liked the mascot branding to start with. It was really cute. It spoke to me again. So that was a great job on the branding. And I was one of your mentors in the group. So I loved, overall, very excited to see where you all ended up. Another thing that I really enjoyed was the fact that in your market research and analysis, echoing to what Rashid said, that you actually did those surveys, was you zoomed out to the pet care industry. You didn't zoom into food or you didn't zoom into one specific thing, but zoomed out to pet care. I really liked seeing that research and data. Obviously, just the fact that you all have diversified to say it's not just about dogs and cats. It's a unique market where businesses are saying we're talking all pets. And I know that comes with its fair share of hard work for the entrepreneurs, but I liked that you all thought about pets and not just dogs. I think that was one of your USPs. And honestly, my highlight was that you said customer experience is everything. And if that is true, and if that's sort of the core value that our brand mascot has, I would definitely piggyback on Rashid's idea as well. I think that the business model should be tweaked a little bit to make client experience everything, which is to say, if Kriti has one dog and one parrot, I would like to sort of keep updating you on my preferences that, oh, it's the monsoons. I want this for my dog. I want this for my parrot, and keep updating it. And you take care of the products that you send my way. And obviously, you can think about what happens in case of return, what happens in case the products don't work. But I do see this as a subscription business as well. If we keep client experience at the center, then one of the barriers is actually sitting and spending hours and figuring out what the right food equipment for my pet is. So I would definitely echo Rashid and say that the basket idea, just sort of stretch that to make it a subscription, because that's a very, very smart idea and a very niche in the market. But great job, loved the idea, loved the concept, and great presentation too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you, guys. We have all these interesting organizations. Of course, they need a place to market, and that brings to our next presentation, which is Group 7. So over to you guys now. And we are left with our last two presentations. So everyone who's staying here with us, thank you so much. We are just a bit over time, but hopefully, looking forward to the last two lone warriors. Over to Group 7.
Good evening, esteemed members of the Big Red Group, mentors, and everyone tuning in on YouTube. So, what's Endless Connections? We are a product of 10 exceptional students which decided to create a nonprofit student-run corporate consultancy firm. So, to extend on a point I made before, we come to our mission statement. So, as I said before, we're a nonprofit corporate consultancy firm. So we aim to catalyze the corporate growth of student-run organizations, small cap businesses, and entrepreneurial students with limited corporate knowledge, because we believe that the main thing you need to be an entrepreneur is an idea.
This is my team of rising early entrepreneurs. Adeline Fernandez from St. Joseph's Boys High School, 15 years old. Drishti Dhingra, the Heritage School, 17 years old. Dhruvi K. Dubal, National Public School, 17 years old. Nimisha Jashnani, La Martiniere Girls College, Lucknow, 15 years old. Samara Arora, the Sri Ram School, Aravali, 15 years old. Aditya Chhatre, Dr. Pillai Global Academy, 15 years old. Dhiren Ramesh Anand, British International School, 17 years old. Ishan Shah, Hill Spring International School, 14 years old. Satyakeerth Boina, Sanchita Maria International School, 16 years old. Suryansh Gupta, the Senior School, 16 years old.
So at Endless Connections, we have found a couple of problems that student-run organizations face. The first one is lack of knowledge. Student-run businesses don't usually have a definite knowledge about their target market. So that's where we would help. The second problem that we identified is limited resources. Student-run organizations don't have access to large-scale capital or funds to operate. This would result in them not being able to utilize different marketing strategies. The third problem we identified is the limited market. Most student-run organizations don't have a large consumer base, so they wouldn't have a high demand when they start up. The fourth problem that we identified is time management. Since student-run organizations are run by students, they would have to balance managing the business as well as their studies. So essentially what we would do is we would take over the burden of marketing, which would help them run the business more efficiently. Satya, over to you.
I think you're on mute.
I was on mute. So we're going to move on to the other aspects of the business, problems we will solve. So first of all, we'll help our clients determine a USP, a unique selling point. This helps them increase their market share and giving them a competitive advantage in industry comparables. Moving on, we aid them in determining better and more efficient revenue streams. After that, we help our clients find the best distribution channel for their product or service to successfully give it to their consumers. Furthermore, we comprehend the production process of our clients and help them make it more productively efficient. And finally, we strategize and resolve issues for our clients through statistical data-driven analysis.
Now, Aditya listed out some problems that student-run organizations. So how do we come into the picture here? We perform surveys to help student organizations to identify their target audience to improve their marketing strategies. Our services are free of cost, so the student organizations do not bear any cost and have any financial burden. We provide the student-run organizations with marketing and consultancy services. These marketing services include digital marketing, SEOs, social media account handling, and also web designing. Our student organizations that are enlisted on our platform get help from us as we decrease their workload, allowing them to focus on other aspects of their business as well.
Now, moving on to our competitors. KPMG, WebFX, and College Marketing Group are some of our competitors that provide similar or the same services as us. What makes us different is that we do not charge our customers. Well, this is for the time being. This is because we want to establish our brand image ourselves by gaining initial customer base so we can establish ourselves as a credible consulting company for student-led organizations and small businesses. As you can see, the pricing varies among our competitors. For example, KPMG charges their customers $100 to $149 an hour. This may not be ideal for student-led organizations as they find trouble with access to funds. And as well as WebFX, they do have a much drastic pricing strategy with it, which is $5,000 to $55,000 depending on the products being advertised. However, for us, we mainly want to focus on customer satisfaction and building a customer base, as this is more important to us, since we would like to ensure that our customers can trust us and believe that we can provide the services at a high quality and at a high rate and efficiency.
I'm going to be speaking about target consumer profile. Firstly, they have to be in a school and have to be between the ages of 14 to 23 years young. The organization has to be solving a problem that society faces. And our goal is to find customers that are interested to invest in small student-run businesses and to look out for students that do have ideas but no corporate knowledge.
We offer our services directly to student-run organizations that don't have to be listed on the register of companies. We will act as a medium between student-run organizations and their target audience by acknowledging their vision in their product and service and communicating with our customers on how to implement certain changes. Our environment is completely different to our competitors. Students will feel less hesitant to approach us as they may feel intimidated by formal consultancy agencies. This is because we ourselves are students and are more approachable than the usual suit and tie marketing. We are also non-profit, so we benefit our student organizations without our services costing them anything.
Our marketing channels are: we have an up and running website. We look to invest in Google and Facebook advertisements. We have 2 social medias, which are Instagram and LinkedIn. We look to expand into Facebook and Twitter as well. Word of mouth is one of our marketing channels, as we expect news of platform to spread like wildfire between our target audience.
At the moment, we operate as a non-profit, but we look to becoming a profitable business in the future by introducing affiliate marketing and subscriptions. We'll introduce commissions where a third party will be paid a specific amount for our services and subscription system with 3 different plans: basic, premium, and scholar.
So milestones that we these are some of the goals that we set for ourselves. 1, to achieve a concrete brand image. Number 2, to gain statistical data depicting ability to help our clients gain. Number 3, to increase our client base, to initiate our pricing methods. Number 4, to get client companies enlisted on our website. And number 5, to bring our first aspiring student entrepreneurs to the market.
At the moment, since we're operating as a non-profit business, we don't require funding. But in the future, we do predict that we would require funding for the following: advertising for brand awareness purposes. We would need to advertise our clients as well. We would need funding for improving our website, for the salaries of potential employees that we may employ, to pay sponsors that we may employ, as well as workplace expenses. Thank you. You can contact us at on our LinkedIn, Instagram, or email.
Thank you, guys. Thank you once again. Over to Priti and Rashid.
Awesome. Hey, you know what? We're here to partner with you guys, and also you can piggyback on all our learnings in the last 4 years. So Rashid summarized your sort of business model as a free consulting for student entrepreneurs and for student social entrepreneurs, and I really like that he simplified that. But I think Satya's start was very, very strong. I love the energy you all got into the presentation. Really liked, as a true nonprofit, you have a mission statement. Really love that about your presentation. I think your targeting is spot on. I really liked the metrics that you have for if a student has to apply for your services, here are the metrics they have to, here are the items they have to check off, which was really, really nice. So it shows that it's a very niche target market as well. And yeah, it's basically student-led organizations, small businesses. I really liked how y'all are playing with targeting overall. And it's obviously close to our hearts because we do the same thing as well. Yeah, I think the USP of being approachable, you know, the idea that clients should be enlisted on your website is an absolute no-brainer. So you should flesh that out some more. Overall, I think I would like to see the actual user. While I really like the thought of the user persona you showed, because it's a student-led business, I would like to actually see, you know, someone like a Shreyas or someone like a 14 to 17-year-old user on there, so that you can out-empathize your competition, that is us in a way. And I think one of the considerations in your overall model is that you will need experts to deliver these services. So one of your big costs will be to have your consultants in place. So I would add more thought to how do we make such a model work in the non-profit world, because as you saw in your competitor analysis, there's KPMGs of the world, which are definitely not profit. So I would just think through and ideate some more on how do we balance staying an NGO and having the cost of good, high quality consultants for these student entrepreneurs. But overall, loved your energy, loved the mission statement, really excited to see you guys execute this some more. Rashid, over to you.
Okay, I really like that in the presentation, your team was the first thing you talked about, because that is in line with it being a consulting service. So I think it made sense. You didn't go with the generic template. You went with something and tweaked it for what made sense to you. So I like that. It showed a lot of thought. This also made me think about when I was in 11th standard, I started a consulting firm with my friends. We called it Sync Solutions. We had business cards. It was basically an excuse for us friends to do something fun together. And instead of doing it for free, what we said is to our first clients, we said, we will take 25% of the profits you make in the next 3 months. Okay, so what that did is it gave us an opportunity to make some money, and it told them that we're not taking any money up front because we're not sure whether we're going to be able to help you or not. So I think that might be something to think about. I like the thought behind helping them. I'm not as big a fan about it being free, because I think for expertise, you should value your time and your expertise. Because if you don't, nobody else will. So that might be, a controversial thought worth thinking about. Overall, we believe in the same mission. So I'd be very excited to see you guys flesh this out. As I told you in the previous one, competitors can be collaborators. That's something I'd be much more excited by. We can do some fun stuff together. So it'd be exciting to have you guys in the academy as well, go through stuff together, and then see how we can partner moving forward. Very, very exciting.
We have a few hands raised.
Just a second, we actually have a prototype of the website. So if Aditya can show it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll share that in a moment. I just wanted to answer something that Rashid said. So you said that I think you said that we shouldn't have started out as a nonprofit directly, and we should have asked for something for a revenue stream. So basically the idea behind that is that we are student run and we're starting up. So there there's no reason for our clients or our potential clients to have any confidence in us to market for them properly. So what we're doing is we're starting out as a non-profit. We'll provide our services for free. We'll show them something that will make them have confidence in us, because that will allow us to ask them for revenue and potentially higher revenue than what we could have asked without the confidence in us. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So should I share the website with you guys?
Please go ahead, Aditya.
So this is the homepage of our website. We've made this through Wix and we've kept this free. So when I mentioned that we would need funding for upgrading our website, it would be mainly to get the Wix subscription, because that would allow us to do a lot more with our website and would also allow us to get our own domain. At the moment, we have been in talks with two of the groups in this course, which was Group 3 Thrift Train and Group 5 Kangaroo Care. We have listed how do we help on our homepage, which is we would aid businesses with marketing. Yeah, we would aid them in developing their business, and we would also aid them through partnerships. One of the events or one of the projects that we already have on our website is for an NGO. So I have a friend who is doing a project for the NGO where they're trying to collect 50 functioning devices, mobile phones, tablets, and laptops to give to the people who can't afford them, but they would need them. So this is something that we already have on our website. And we also have a LinkedIn and our Instagram link there. One of the big things about our website is the contact page, because this contact page would be mainly for feedback of anything that our customers would like to tell us. So on our email, which is endlessconnectionsconsultancy10@gmail.com, we would receive any feedback that the customers give here. The Wix website also gives a Let's Chat option over here. So if anybody would like to contact us through the Wix website directly, they could do that as well. Those are two main features of our website. We would be looking to adding more features soon.
Thank you, Aditya. One thing that at this point I would like to add also, I think out of all the presentations, I would also sort of lean towards what Rashid said personally, because I mean, that was one comment that I had thought when you were presenting it, that a great business model, in my opinion, would also be to take a cut of all the sales that these students make. Because again, one very important point, as Rashid said, is about if you offer services for free, and if you don't take your time and energy seriously, and especially what Kriti mentioned about hiring consultants, which is going to be so very important, right? Because you will not be doing justice to your own clients, whom you're planning to offer so much, if you don't hire the right consultants and try to do all of this yourself. And now to manage that, of course, you have to also realize that you sort of have that hook or that sort of advantage that you can pressurize them a bit, right? Because they have nowhere else to go. They can't really go to any other consultant who will be charging them so much more money, right? So, and to begin with, I don't feel the founders would have anything to lose out if you do propose that idea to them, right? Because it's a win-win situation. If you are getting them clients and if they're making a sale, you're making some money off of it. So that will be sort of my last pointer. But of course, you guys know it better what you want to do, but definitely do take all suggestions and keep them in mind. Now, that brings us, no problem, Aditya. Thank you. To our last lone warrior, which is Team 5, Kangaroo Care. Really excited. So take it away. And again, thanking everyone who's present here. And thank you, Kriti and Rashid, once again, for all your thoughtful comments and really deep diving into all the projects with these students. So over to Group 5.
Hi, okay. So good evening, everybody. I hope the panelists and everybody watching is not tired. We're just going to quickly walk you through our company, Kangaroo Care, and hopefully give you an insight into the different facets that make our company functionable. So our company's name is Kangaroo Care, Parenting Made Easy. So let's go. Could you move to the next slide? Okay.
So let me start by throwing you a statistic. Okay, so 2.7 million Indian children between the ages of 0 to 6 have special needs. So and the parents of these children have a tough time finding the right caregivers that fit this niche. So imagine you're a parent of like a 3-year-old. When you're going to work every day for 5 days a week, you want somebody that you can trust to take care of your kid, especially if they have certain needs that needs a professional to take care of them. And in a country like India, it's like so hard to find somebody that you can trust when accessibility is such a big issue, especially for such a small niche. So we hope to cater to this huge problem in the best way possible. So we'll just let you know about all the things that work in our company.
Greetings, everyone. Here is a survey collected from parents all over India. Our survey consisted of a list of questions aimed for extracting the required info related to a caretaker. As our survey depicts, that 72% of parents face difficulty in finding a verified caretaker. So, in spite having a specific requirement, they don't have the access to the service, the specific service. So, all of this data provides us an overview about our need in the market. Over to Dhriti.
Camro Care provides you with a mobile application that allows parents to get easy access to licensed caregivers for their children. They can specify the pricing, location, and quality to find their ideal fit. This app will provide parents with the profile of the caregivers along with their qualification and reviews so that they can choose between various options. Positive reviews would also incentivize the caregivers to provide good quality service. They can find caregivers suitable to their geographic location using the location services. Moreover, we will also be providing a price range slider so that parents can choose caregivers according to their financial needs.
Yep. So target market. Target market is the end consumer to which our company wants to sell its product to. For better understanding, let's seek an example. If I say that I have an apple and I want a tiger to eat it would completely make no sense because that is not something the tiger needs. In our case, the audience is parents, especially in urban areas with children in the younger age group that is below 6 years, who require special needs. So that's who we aim to focus our marketing upon to get better reach and yield results. Over to Ria.
So it would make more sense to start providing our services in urban cities such as Hyderabad, Delhi, and Mumbai, because higher the number of working parents, there will be more need of services like ours. Over to Akshay.
Thank you, Ria. I think I have the slide. Yeah. So basically, in my opinion at least, when there's a problem, there's always a solution. And when there's a solution, there are more than thousands of ways to implement it. So over the next few slides, we're going to see how our competitors have approached the market and how we at the Kangaroo Care intend to bring a unique and useful solution in this field. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, thank you so much, Adi. Though most of our indirect competitors belong to various categories, one category that stands out is home health care. And right now, the experts in this field in India are these three prestigious companies. For example, Zupter, the company Zupter, doesn't even have an app or website, but already has funds accounting to $1 million. So we are in big leagues, I think. And can I have the next slide, please, Adi? Yeah, so this is the detailed analysis as to how our competitors are approaching the market and how we are approaching, but I will not bore you by getting into the details because at the end of the day, the question that you need answered is, how are we different? Well, simple. We cater to the needs of a niche market. We cater to the needs of the parents with special needs. And unlike our competition, we don't stop at with offering them with medical assistance. We go beyond. We will not rest until these parents find the Anne Sullivan for the Helen Keller in their children. So I guess the only question that's left is, what's next? I think my dear friend Rajveer would be more than happy to guide you through. Over to you, Rajveer.
Yeah, thanks, Akshay.
So the unique selling propositions, firstly, I'd like to start by saying that our platform has a niche or
Rajveer, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to break you. If you can hear me.
service
Hey, Rajveer,
having a very safe business environment. According to the geographical location. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. Rajveer, you are not audible. I'm so sorry to break you. I think it'll be great if you could just switch on off your camera, and maybe then it'll be much better for you to speak to us. You can go ahead.
Am I audible right now?
Yes, much better.
Yeah. So I'd like to continue. So according to the geographical location and the varying and contrasting financial needs, for example, Urban Clap, it has different filters and a price slider we can choose from. So we precisely would include that too. Also, as working parents could have a time bound problem, our company provides, so that will be a major USP.
To reiterate what Roger was trying to say, I think there was some issues with the communication due to internet. Our unique selling point is that we're geographically convenient and we are financially flexible, which allows parents that are working to be able to afford us. And we're in the areas where parents need us most, in urban cities where they're typically going to work.
So our main marketing channel is social media, including Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So 97.4 million Indian Facebook users are 18 to 24-year-old, and the average age of a woman at first birth is approximately 20 in India. Therefore, Facebook allows us to target our marketing efforts towards the parents directly. And approximately 35 million Instagram users are aged 18 to 24 again, being the largest number of Instagram users in India. The average age at which women also have children lies within the age group. Via Instagram, we are trying to reach our target audience using engaging posts which elaborates what kangaroo care does. Moreover, we use relevant hashtags such as parenting, caregiving support, etc. to reach out to our specific target users. By using LinkedIn, we're able to connect with organizations that provide licensed caregivers such as RIA Foundation and Nai Disha Resource Center. This allows us to expand our licensed caregiving base. Moreover, by partnering up with organizations like these, we can promote ourselves using their websites too, allowing us to reach out to more parents of children looking for caregivers. Through YouTube, we post video content that includes statistics and recommendations from credible sources like professional caregivers. Moreover, video content is extremely engaging, and viewers retain 95% of message when they watch it in a video form compared to 10% when they read it in text. Over to Sanvi.
Hello, everyone. So far, we have come up with a prototype of our app, created a social media page in Instagram with having 63 followers to start off, and on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And above all, we created a market survey via Google Forms. As we have derived our core skeleton of our business proposition, we would like to enhance and augment our future scope. We plan to roll out features in groups in the future as our customer base grows, as we gain traction as a business. We would like to inculcate an emergency alert system that sends high alert messages to all the parents and emergency contacts, and an addition of doctors to our consumer base. Eventually, we would like to incorporate a logbook that will contain information about the activities involving the caregiver and the child on a daily basis, add tutors, and sell the products for children. These features would slowly be introduced during the growth and shakeout stages of our business life cycle. Thank you.
So what you're looking right now is the prototype for our app. So when you open the app, you come to an interface which allows you to either log in or register. So depending on whether you're part of a family, you log in or register. Next, when you dive right into the app, you look. So with the help of your location, we kind of find different caregivers around you, and tapping on the icons will help you get information of these caregivers, which includes their medical experiences, their qualifications, the reviews they've gotten from different parents and their ratings. So thus this information would help you connect with the caregivers at a higher level and would help build trust. Over to Sriram.
Yeah, so our revenue model and how we make this profitable. So Kangaroo Care's revenue model is a service fee model. We take 15% of the money that parents spend to hire a caretaker per session. This model ensures that we make consistent money from each client. 15% is ideal because it is both profitable and affordable for parents. It is also an acceptable fee for caretakers and wouldn't be a deal breaker. For example, if a parent were to pay 1,000 rupees to a caregiver, we would take 150 rupees from that expense. Our estimated revenue. So the estimated average price per hour for a caregiver is 1,500 rupees. I think we're on the wrong side. Yeah, is 1,500 rupees. Though this may seem expensive initially, due to the certification, qualification, and work experience of the caregivers, this price is justified. Our first milestone is 100 users. At this point of time, we'll be generating approximately 22.5 lakhs per month. Of the 22.5 lakhs, we'll be profiting 3.375 lakhs. Our second milestone is 250 users. And at this point in time, we'll be profiting 9 lakhs. And our third milestone is 500 users. And at this point, we'll be profiting 22.5 lakhs. And we hope to achieve these numbers within 2 years. Funding. So we estimate that we will require 5 lakh rupees to fund our business. All of the funding that we receive will go to marketing and app development. We do not have any manufacturing costs as of now, nor do we need to hire employees. As such, the only expenses would be marketing and app development. We would market our app through social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we need to develop promotional videos for YouTube and promotional content for Facebook and Instagram. Ads on Facebook and Instagram typically cost around 500 rupees for every 1,000 impressions. And an ad on YouTube costs approximately 1,500 rupees for every 1,000 views. We plan to allocate 1 lakh towards app development, 2 lakhs towards YouTube advertisements, and 2 lakhs towards Instagram and Facebook advertisements.
Thank you, Sriram. So this is the team of the lovely early entrepreneurs: Akshaya, Adi, Ashi, Dhriti, Ayushman, Shubhangi. Adi, the next slide. Sanvi, Rajveer, Riya, and Sriram. I appreciate all of your attention this evening, and this brings us to the end of our presentation, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I'm just going to go back to gallery mode. One quick question that I wanted to ask you guys, because I know that I spoke to you a couple of times on this. Is this service made earlier? You guys were pointing towards especially able children. Is it still the case, or it seemed to me that you were moving more towards, or you did not mention that at all during your slide? So I just want to make sure that what you're talking about is, again, having certified caregivers for specially able children and not just for all children.
Yeah, I said when I introduced the presentation, I'd said that it's for specially able children between the ages of 0 to 6. I think it was on one of the slides as well.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry that we couldn't mention it on your slides. We'll work on it.
Not a problem, guys. Again, because that is the problem, right? I mean, there are maybe websites there which do provide you with caregivers, but your focus really was on specially able children, and then how you can look at different sort of caregiving for them compared to all the other platforms. But on that note, that sort of brings us to the last presentation. Rashid and Kriti, over to you once again.
Okay, what a way to finish. Fantastic presentation. Really specific problem as well. Maybe it got misunderstood over the internet issues we had, but I found the targeting quite specific. I understood that you were looking at just kids under the age of 6, as I got it. I really liked how specific you were with that. I like that we got a little twist in the analysis with like a SWOT coming in as well. That was cool. It was cool not just because you did it, but because you called out, wait a minute, all of this detailed stuff we can get to, but how we different is the core question. Really like that because it kept us focused on what we wanted to actually hear. Again, I think this must be with everybody in the group. Again, internet issues happen. Again, people step in, make sure things move smoothly. That's always a highlight. The one thing I liked in your roadmap was the emergency alert system. I thought that made a lot of sense to bring in, because that is something that I would have been thinking about. As soon as I saw it, I was like, of course, that has to be there. So really well thought out as well. I guess the sort of one or two pieces of feedback I have is, it's on one slide that LinkedIn will happen, YouTube will happen, Instagram will happen, website will happen, but in practice, that is a lot of stuff to do. I think that initially, especially when I saw your funding requirement is 5 lakhs initially, I think it would be interesting to ask the question, how might we get to the 5 lakhs without investing in that type of stuff? And so then I would go down the route of who are partner organizations, which I think you mentioned one of them, but who are partner organizations who are catering to the same target audience, but with a different kind of service? Can I piggyback on them? Can I get on WhatsApp groups of parents with special need kids and sort of share content over there? And I just invest in making content, video, audio content that explains how you do stuff, how it helps the parents, etc., and just start going that way until you hit 5 lakhs, and then you can sort of invest in the app route that you want to go down as well. So I think that would be the only sort of tweak to the idea, the strategy to go to market. But overall, again, really well presented. You guys have obviously done a great job over the week, because all of your presentations are just continuously making us feel bad about our presentation skills at your age. So well done again.
Yeah, what a finish, team. I was a part of some of your breakout rooms, and I'm so excited to see your, zone into a very untapped niche and something in India that we don't talk a lot about, which is kids with special abilities. So it's a very nice sort of problem statement to sort of go to market with. I think one thing all of us should take from this presentation was notice how I think they nailed, the branding was fantastic. I loved the feel of it. It really spoke, it's, very fresh. Ranveer is back? Okay, very fresh. I really like the branding. And one thing you should notice is all their slides had their logo up top on the left corner. And so the whole time they anchored us to the brand that they had created, which was Kangaroo Kids, Kangaroo Care. I kept thinking Kangaroo Kids because I think I've seen it somewhere, but Kangaroo Care was just there at the left top corner, which I thought was really, really interesting. I also really liked when you started that there wasn't a lot of numbers on the screen. There was one headline number, and it really was a great hook and a great start to your presentation. I love, as I think Rashid and Rashid both spoke about targeting. I think it's really smart to target working parents in cities, because they have ability to pay, and they will be more open to paying for services when acknowledging that their kids have special abilities. So I really thought that was very nice. Sriram jumping in when the internet wasn't working, I think is a highlight, because how might we stand out so well over that. 63 followers already. That's awesome. I'm glad you'll share that so proudly. I think that's fantastic. It's definitely a strong start to your brand, which I think I really loved it, because it's not just 63, it's 63 in a week, which is huge. The features were definitely awesome. I loved how Sriram sort of led us through the revenue projections and the numbers, especially the part where he acknowledged that, that if we're all about content and marketing, then impressions on Facebook are an important aspect. So glad your team sort of looked into that aspect instead of just saying marketing on Facebook. So that detail was very fascinating. I'll just quickly talk about the one thing I would look into more is we know there's a demand side. I know you mentioned on the supply side that there are licensed caregivers and there are other organizations that provide that. I just don't know what the numbers are. I don't really hear a lot about licensed caregivers for specially abled kids. So more content and research on that would be good. Also, can you be the people who are training these specially abled, special caregivers would be an interesting model. But overall, great job. Loved the feel of the presentation. Really loved the problem you're solving.
Thank you, Kriti. Well, that brings us to the end of our pitch day today. I would like to thank everyone on behalf of the Big Red Crew for coming here. Of course, all the passionate students who have been, just so resilient in the week that we had. Of course, once again, to Rashid and Kriti from Jigsaw Thinking coming here and really giving insightful reviews to these students. So on that note, thank you everyone for joining us. I'm just going to stop the live stream, but I hope to see you all soon. And all the students don't leave the